Hey, quick disclaimer that my plosives in this episode are popping and bopping, and I am so sorry about that.
Welcome back to the TxT Anime Hour, guys. Thanks for being here.
Hello.
How you doing, Tristan?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing, Tyler?
I'm doing pretty good. I am pumped up to talk about the Crunchyroll Anime Awards 2024 today.
Oh, we're back again.
It's kind of wild, actually. We didn't put out that many episodes last year, and half of the episodes we put out are Anime Awards episodes, actually, when you think about it. And it just feels like this year blinked by, and I just can't believe we're already back to some Anime Awards.
Yeah, but luckily it was a big year for anime, like we already said before.
Oh, such a big year. And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but jumping forward to 2024, I'm so excited for this year of anime too.
We keep saying it, but this is going to be an even bigger year.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's just man, 2023 had so much stuff. And so to have two banger years of anime in a row like this, so sick, so pumped.
It's got me excited.
Right? So today we've got a loose plan, dare I even call it a plan. We're going to do something to the effect of what we did last year, but maybe a little bit more, a little quicker maybe. We took two beefy episodes to do it last year. I love what we did, but I think we're going to try to trim it down this year and just go into, we want to hit every category. Mm-hmm. We want to read through each category, what they are, and the nominees, of course, cover off any synopses of anime that we didn't really watch, because I think that'd be really fun. And then we'll cast our votes and our bets. I really like last year how we did our own votes using the knowledge that we have, but then our bets with the knowledge that we have. That was more fun. What is the popular vote actually going to be? Yeah, it's just so fun. So, let's get into it. And the reason we're going to go through the list backwards is just to kind of have some fun ending with anime of the year.
Yeah, we're doing the same thing we did last year and saving the big one for last.
Totally. And I guess the only other note to top up with is we're going to skip past some of the other voice artist performance categories just because we don't have any experience with them, right? We don't listen to anime in Latin, Spanish, and Portuguese, etc. So cool that these are categories, and I bet the performances are off the hook. But because we have zero exposure to them, I don't think it makes any sense for us to cast our votes. So we're gonna do English, Japanese, since we've obviously seen a handful of things in both of those, and then go from there into the other categories.
Well, I don't have much to speak on for English. I literally only know one English voice actor because I primarily just watch everything in Japanese.
Yeah, I'm the same. It takes a certain set of things for me to watch something in English, and so I only know the one in here as well. The English actor for Ichigo in Bleach is the ever lovely Johnny Young Bosch, and such a wicked performance. The only other name on here that I know would be for Nezuko from Demon Slayer, Abby Trott.
Oh, really?
It's the only other character I would have heard in English. But funny enough, we were talking off of the show about this, that the only bits of Nezuko I've heard in English are the grunts and things, because she doesn't talk. So I can't really talk about that even. So aside from that, the rest of the list is just not performances that I've seen. So I mean, all I can really do is say my vote's for Bleach.
Just gotta go with the more well-known tenured actor.
Yeah, I would love to hear some of these other ones. Maybe we could have even skipped this category for the same reason as the other ones, but I don't even know what the popular vote's going to be on this one, just because I mean, people love Denji this year. We're going to get
Yeah.
into that, when we get to character. So, if the English performance is off the hook, I could see it being something like that. But I think I got to kind of low key bow out of this one and just say Johnny Young Bosch.
Yeah. But just to do our fair diligence for the nominees, we've got as follows: Abby Trott for Nezuko, Austin Tyndall from Trigun Stampede. He's playing Millions Knives. Then we got Lexi Nieto for Toma Aizawa, Marissa Durin for Sagari Yamada Asaimon, and then Ryan Colt Levy for Denji.
Yeah, I would love to hear that.
I would too, actually. I feel like Denji's that one character that actually does translate pretty well.
Yeah, he could have a pretty sweet English performance.
But I think we're both putting all our chips on Mr. Johnny Young Bosch. We got the best Japanese voice artist. We got Atsumi Tanizaki for Anya Forger, Kikunosuke Toya for Denji, Mayumi Tanaka for Monkey D. Luffy, legend, by the way. Yoshino Aoyama for Bochi, Yuichi Nakamura for Gojo Satoru, which I'm going to circle back with a little fun detail on that in a minute. And then Yuki Kaji for Eren Yeager.
Excellent.
Now going back,
These are some awesome ones.
these are huge ones actually.
What did you want to circle back to for Gojo?
What do Moomin Rider, the Dwarf Shaman from Goblin Slayer, Grey Fullbuster, and Gojo Satoru have in common?
No way. That is a fun fact. They all share the voice actor.
Oh yeah,
in
same
Japanese?
guy.
That's crazy.
His range is insane.
Yeah, what a range. Like those are for that is not typecast. Those
No.
are for super different characters. That's hilarious.
An even more fun fact, he has a YouTube channel where he streams GTA RP, and it is such a great time.
What?
He is so naturally funny.
That's awesome. And so it's like a Japanese stream of GTA RP, or that's so cool.
Plays with a bunch of VTubers and other like popular Japanese content creators.
Dude, that's awesome. That's so funny.
It's so fun. I will send it to you later.
Yeah, please do. I mean, he's so awesome as Gojo. Like,
He
I'm
is.
looking at this list and like Eren, like Gojo, Eren, like I'm just looking at all the ones that I know. The only one on here I obviously have not heard is Bochi. That's going to be a common theme through today's episode. That's an anime. Bochi the Rock is an anime that I haven't seen this year or last year.
I highly recommend Bochi.
Really? So have you seen the whole thing?
No, I think I've only seen like 4 or 5 episodes, but I definitely do recommend it.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. It's a music anime.
Yeah, it's about this girl who wants to be a musician, but like she has horrible social anxiety and stage fright.
Oh, what?
It
That's a good premise.
it hits pretty close. I really love it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I got to check that out. All of these other... So you watched that in Japanese. How was this voice performance then?
Honestly, really good.
Nice.
She fits the character perfectly.
That's great. Yeah. Like, I'm looking at the rest of these, and I mean, Anya was, as always, incredible. Like,
Yeah.
so funny. Monkey D. Luffy, as you said, legend. Like, this is, as usual, an incredible performance. But then I'm looking at Eren and Denji. I really like the Japanese voice of Denji
I do too.
in Chainsaw Man. Just a good time, unique voice. This is a tough one.
This is a tough one. You know what? I'm going to be bold and put my bet on Yuki Kaji because his performance for Eren was next level for
It's
those
off
two.
the hook. Yeah, I think I have to go with you on that. For the bet. And then what's your personal pick?
My toss-up for favorite is going between Yuichi for Gojo and Toya for Denji.
Yeah, I'm struggling to pick between those as well. Gojo got a lot of screen time at the start of season 2.
Yeah, that's the
He
funny
was-
thing. He wasn't even in it that long. And obviously we're with Denji for pretty much the entire ride.
Yeah, it's true. I'm trying to be a little more critical of like what like what their performances entailed, and it's just been a minute since I watched Chainsaw Man.
Denji is like more active, more animated, like a lot more hyper.
Yeah, for sure.
And of course, Gojo,
sure.
we already know who Gojo is. He's laid back and confident.
Yeah, but he's got some like pretty funny lines and stuff that he executes, which is always a good time. All right, I loved the Japanese voice of Denji. I'm throwing down Denji.
You're going Denji?
Yeah.
Ah, man. Even worse is I feel like I'm playing favoritism with the voice actor for Gojo just because I just have been having so much fun watching him play GTA.
That's sweet, though. This is your fun vote anyway, right?
Yeah,
like, that's cool.
You know what? We're going Yuichi Nakamura for me.
That's awesome. I have to check out that RP stuff.
Oh,
that's awesome.
it's so I'm gonna, like I said, I'll send you some clips. They are so great.
On to the next.
Here we are at best ending sequence.
These were a lot of fun to.
They were.
I love the research for all of these.
We actually did a fair bit of research on certain things this year.
The endings and openings and songs were a blast to actually go through.
I'm spoiling one of them, but I'm amazed they even were able to pick one for Chainsaw Man because they were all different every episode.
Why didn't I pick up on that? Why? It's been a minute since I watched Chainsaw Man, like I said a little bit ago, but they did a different ending for every episode.
Mm-hmm. And they were all
That's
so
nuts.
sick.
That's nuts. That explains why I didn't even recognize the one that I watched because I missed that.
Oh, they probably all
while
melded into
watching
your
the
brain.
series. Yeah. And when I saw it, when I was watching all of these, that one was, I don't want to say low on my list, but maybe I do. Compared to some of these other ones, I don't know if it's like it was crazy. It got hype in it. If you guys check it out, it gets pretty nuts. But out of these 6, which we'll list in a second, I don't know if the Chainsaw Man was the Chainsaw Man one was it.
Wow, that's surprising to hear.
Myself. Really? Is that yours?
It might be. It might be. Let's get it.
All right.
Let's list them off real quick.
Let's do it.
We got Akari for Jujutsu Kaisen, which, by the way, we probably should point this out. Everything that Jujutsu Kaisen is nominated for, it's for those first 4 episodes.
Oh.
Yeah, did you not know? Yeah.
No, I should have picked up on that while watching some of the songs and stuff, like you're saying. That's actually going to really change a lot about how I vote and think about this. I didn't know that. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, a huge majority is those first 4 episodes out of what is probably one of the best arcs I've ever seen.
Yeah.
For any title.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, moving on.
Color for Spy X Family, which was I didn't get that far into the show, but that's a really good ending. I really like it.
Yeah, that was that's on my short list for sure. Super fun.
Yeah. Then we got Happiness.
They're like super well put together.
Oh yeah, it really is actually. And then there's Happiness of the Dead for Zom 100.
Mm-hmm.
Also really fun actually.
That one's awesome. Like I didn't know if you wanted me to top up now or after we like read the list, but that's like very much on my short list. It was good, man. It's super good.
It's really good. Then we have Hawatari Nyoku Senti, 200 million centimeter long blades for Chainsaw Man. Koi Kogare for Swordsmith Village Arc. And then Mephisto for Oshinoko, which we didn't talk about. Oshinoko is like the anime that blew up when we took our little break.
And did you check it out at all?
No, I don't know where to watch it.
Yeah, I haven't checked where to watch it. But like when we were doing our research with some of the music videos and stuff, I am blown away by what I'm seeing from Oshinoko.
Yeah, it looks crazy.
I don't know the first thing about it. Do you have the synopsis for this one? Or no?
Yes, actually, I do. And I didn't even have to write this down.
Nice.
This is just something I already knew.
Okay, sweet. Hit us with it.
A popular idol in Japan is set to give birth to twins. However, on the day she's going to deliver them, the doctor in charge gets murdered. And he is reincarnated as one of the twins.
Holy.
Yeah.
wow, from the clips that I've seen, I never would have guessed that.
Really?
plot.
Oh, man.
Because I didn't know that. I just thought, hey, this is a cool looking idol anime.
There's more to it.
That's amazing.
Apparently that first episode is like a tear jerker.
Yeah, and so I didn't. Gosh, I'm so underqualified to talk about this because
too.
I, like, okay, so you watch we're going to talk a lot about the song that it's nominated for. That's not this one because it's the ending sequence. That song is off the hook. We'll circle back to it when we get there.
Yeah, we will.
But if you read the comments on YouTube about that song, they're just like, it's all about how if you've seen even the first episode or if you've seen the season and you read the lyrics and listen to this song, it just changes everything. Like apparently it's a pretty big deal, pretty emotional and stuff. And I felt so envious. I felt so out of the loop having like not seen the anime. And so between how great that song is, how great the opening is, and how great the ending is, I'm just like, I really want to check this out. And then now you're hitting me with the synopsis. It's not just some idol anime. There's like all this other stuff going on. I'm like, what is this show? So I can see how you say that you said that it kind of blew up when we took our bit of a hiatus, eh?
Yeah, it was all anybody ever talked about when that first episode hit.
Wild. I am wildly underqualified to talk about it. I just need to watch it. I need to check it out. I do too.
And I'm going to be honest, that's going to be my bet.
Yeah, even for the ending?
Mm-hmm.
For my bet, I mean, you know what? I'm kind of cheating here, just basing it off of you and everything we just kind of like the things I've seen from the side, even though I don't know anything about it. I mean, it sounds popular. It sounds cool. And that ending from a quality perspective, like I just thought it was super cool. I like the art style of this show is
it looks beautiful.
Breathtaking. Totally. Like it just looks so good. So I might copycat you on that, because these other ones are awesome. And like, just to go into it for a second, like they're all cool. Jujutsu Kaisen's sweet because it's got, if it makes sense now that you say that it's the first few episodes, because this outro was all Geto and, Gojo type stuff. And it was really well. And like, gosh, that season is so, like the animation and stuff, like the art in it, where they're just showing bits of like real life is just unreal. Like just the art in the whole season is just so unreal. And so that's highlighted in the intro and the outro. So that one is beautiful. Chainsaw Man one was like crazy. Also has some cool art, but wasn't my first pick. Demon Slayer was lovely. Like that outro, it shows Kanoji and I'm spacing on the Miss Hashira.
It shows the two Hashiras
Tokito
childhoods.
Yeah, I love that. I thought that was super cool. The music was good, and the little stories that it tells was actually really cool. And then Spy X Family also just really well put together. But like, I'm saving my favorite for last here. My personal pick for my vote is the Zom 100 one. I just thought it was like a ton of fun. The music's cool. The art style of that show is crazy. And the intro and outro, they're just nuts. They're just so fun.
That's pretty much the only way I was going to describe it to you, is they're really fun.
Yeah.
For that whole premise of that show, it's just more fun than it has any right to be.
Totally. I've only watched the first couple episodes, but it's like a one that I have to circle back to. Like I haven't even been introduced to any of the other main characters in the intros and outros, and I'm just so intrigued. I'm like, I want to know these people. Like, what is going on in this show? It seems so fun.
I do too.
So, okay, so we've got my vote is Zom 100. My bet, I'm just copycatting you because you're probably right. And I really did like that outro. The Oshinoko, and that's your vote as well, or your
that's my bet.
Your bet, and then tell me about your vote.
Ah, man, the metalhead in me wants to vote for Chainsaw Man because that's the sickest outro ever.
Oh, so man, we have a differing of opinions. I don't know why. Like
we do.
I love metal too, but not to the degree you do, and like I only quickly watched that one, and it just didn't connect with me upon first watch. I'll have to watch it again. But you were feeling it.
That one makes more sense with the context of the episode it's attached to, if that helps any.
I mean, it probably would. Yeah.
Because that episode, I think it's attached to the spoiler. If you haven't seen it, it's attached to the episode where they go into the hotel. If you remember.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's the one it's from.
I see.
The Demon Slayer one, I didn't hate it by any stretch of the imagination, but we talked about this off air. I need to rewatch that entire arc to get a more fresh take on it.
Yeah, see where it sits in terms of like, see how you feel about it. I do too. It's I thought it was awesome, but you said this off air, or maybe you did say this in a previous episode recently, that it's maybe your least favorite arc. We've had some fire arcs, right? Like, so it's hard to, compete with some of the stuff we've seen up to this point. I think I'm with you. Like, it is probably the weakest arc so far. And that, but it's so sick still. And that outro was lovely, absolutely. But I think you're right. I don't think it's like the world's coolest outro.
Then Akari, that one, okay. I like the other ending way more.
I remember liking the other ending more.
It is so gorgeous. They have like the 85 mil. Well, they have film grain on it, and it's all the kids or the three main kids.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, I'm following my metalhead heart and giving it to Chainsaw Man.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Also, I know we keep waxing poetic about Jujutsu Kaisen. We do plan on doing a spoiler-heavy episode for that one.
Yeah, it deserves it. I think we're gonna have a ton of fun with that.
Oh my God, are we ever?
All right. Best opening sequence.
Best opening sequence. We have Idol by Oshinoko. I know the song. We already know the song.
Mm-hmm.
Innocent Arrogance for Heavenly Delusion. Kickback, Chainsaw Man. So sick.
Yeah.
Song of the Dead, Zom 100. Work, Hell's Paradise. And Where Our Blue Is, Jujutsu Kaisen.
This is an awesome list.
This is a great list.
So good. Like, so I assume you said you had one or two that you hadn't seen? It was probably just the one, Heavenly Delusion.
Yeah.
And when I say haven't seen, we've watched all of these openings.
We watched all the openings.
Yeah, but you haven't seen that anime. I haven't seen that anime.
Yeah.
That opening was still pretty good, though. I thought.
Oh, this is gorgeous. Oh, this is gorgeous.
Yeah, this is a tough category, guys.
It is. Well,
all of these are sick. I know which ones like sort of fall short a little bit for me. Like they trickle to the bottom, but like this is even the one that I don't know, that I can't like have bias on, like positive bias on, because I've like seen it. It's so good when you watch it. The Heavenly Delusion, Innocent Arrogance one is a great opening in its own right. But I guess just for me to go through it real quick, Idol for Oshinoko, this is where that song, the opening song.
This is where that song plays in.
Oh, you guys have to check it out. Whether you're checking out the lyric version of just the song, which is coming up, I think it's the next category, or not in the next two categories from now, but the opening is with the song in context of the opening. It's sick. Like the art is so good. I have to check out the show. It is a really good opening. Innocent Arrogance.
God, it has no right to go that hard.
Right? It goes so hard. And the art is just like so awesome in that show. And now you've intrigued me with the story. Like I have to check it out.
I'm going to be completely honest with you here. They had two choices for Jujutsu Kaisen and they made the wrong one.
Well, so hang on. That's one of my questions is, did they have two choices? Like, because you're talking about how they're basing it off the first two episodes or the first few episodes, did they have two different openings in the first few episodes? I don't remember. Or are you saying?
Yeah,
Sorry, hit me.
They have two different openings. They have the opening for that 4-episode arc of Jujutsu of Geto and Gojo when they were students, and then they have the opening for the main arc.
Yeah, but if you said that all of its nominations are based on those 4 episodes. Doesn't that mean that the remaining episodes would be like a next year thing or a not at all thing? Like they're
that's what I'm kind of wondering.
Right? Like it's kind of weird but
at the same time they're both the same thing or same arc, are they not?
They are. Yeah. It's like a bit of a two parts in terms of the flow of it, but it's one, like in terms of the feel of it, it feels like two parts, short intro part and then the remainder of the arc, but it's 100% all one arc. And so I was a little surprised too that they were going with the outro and opening that they did when the rest of the Shibuya arc, both the intro and outro, were like way cooler to me. And I feel like we didn't do our research enough. Now that you say that, it's just like, wait, is everything I'm about to say about Jujutsu Kaisen sweeping some of these categories? Is it wrong because it's not including the rest of the Shibuya arc? I don't know.
Well, we got tripped up on Attack on Titan as well.
Same thing. Yeah. That one's a little more clear because they've listed it on here. When we get to some of the Attack on Titan nominations, they've listed it as the first part of the two final specials. I mean, you guys all know the meme. What is it actually called? Final season, final chapters, special one. So, you know, it's based on the second to last piece of the story that we've seen. And so that does trip us up a little bit. That's at least more clear than saying Jujutsu Kaisen season 2. Is it actually the whole season 2? I'm confused. But yeah, I would say that this opening is totally weaker than the later one for sure.
Still good, but compared to the one that comes after, oh my lord.
Yeah, definitely with you there. The other three are all stupendous. Like Hell's Paradise had a great intro. I would say that it's still, I have to let it trickle to the bottom. It had a really good intro. But the other two are going to be where I totally struggle to choose, which is that, have you seen I know you have because you sent me the videos, but the Zom 100 intro it has two different versions. I don't know if you knew that, Tristan.
It does? Did I send the wrong one?
No, and actually, here's another, sorry guys, behind the curtain look here. I have no idea which one is nominated, if it's the first version or the second version. I'm treating it like it's a second version. Basically what happened, and I don't know the total backstory here, but they had one version up until episode 9, and then my friend was explaining to me that we don't even know. Like, it took them time to finish producing it. We don't even know. But there's an updated, maybe it was a spoiler thing. I have no idea. But there's an updated version of it after episode 9 that is like so fun. It's the same song and a lot of the same pieces, but there's updated animations where the characters are like singing and dancing and all of this stuff that makes it like so much more fun. And that is the version you sent me, by the way.
Okay.
I believe I said that very confidently, and then now I'm second guessing myself, but that's what I'm basing this off of. Both intros are good, but one of them lacks a whole bunch of what makes the second one special. Like the second one is, it is the one you sent me, and it's way more special. And
yeah, I'm really liking this one.
yeah, it's so good. It's got all the singing and dancing and stuff. I really encourage you guys to check it out. There's YouTube videos cross comparing them where you could actually watch them both play side by side, and you can see all of the new sequences that they put into the updated version. And that's like a great intro. Like, everybody should watch that intro. It's just like so fun. You know, we've talked about Zom 100 a bit about how the concept is a good time. Like, it's just kind of crazy, and the intro goes hard, but in like a very fun, splashy way. And you're just like, dude, this is a show about zombies. What the heck, you know? So that is one that's competing for favorite for me, but like, I've saved the best for last. The Chainsaw Man opening.
Oh, that one's just so good.
It's so good. Like, that is an iconic opening at this point.
I've watched it so many times just so I can point out all the movie references that I get.
Dude, the internet's watched it so many times. In fact, that's something I noticed about all of these. Tristan took the time to make playlists of all these for me to watch, and I can't believe the millions of views that most of these have.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And that kickback for Chainsaw Man, the opening has the opening and the song, I think, but the opening has so many views. I don't even know what it is right now, but it was, I just remembered taking mental note that it was like so many.
Yeah, it's at 102 million views.
That's absurd, man.
For an anime opening.
Yeah, like, that's just wild, and it's just such a good time. Like that's just such a crazy intro.
God, it's so good. I can't get over it.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. And so I can jump right to it and say that despite some of these other heavy hitters like the Oshinoko intro, Zom 100 maybe isn't a heavy hitter, but I think it is a contender because it's just like so fun, really well made. And some of these other ones, I would say that Chainsaw Man for both my votes, like it'll just blow it out of the water.
Ah, you copycat. That's what I'm doing.
I don't even think it's copycatting at this point. It's just like writings on the wall.
It's probably not, no.
Right?
Oh, man. Yeah, no, we're going all chips in on Kickback as well.
So good.
Oh, so it's incredible.
And you said like loaded with movie references, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. You got Pulp Fiction. I think there's No Country for Old Men, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Ring. I think this one's whatever that movie was with Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone a few years ago where they were singing.
That's so cool that they made a bunch of movie references in such a crazy opening.
It's wild. And then, of course, the ending with all the chaos with Power and Denji and Aki.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just really cool. Lots of cool action, lots of like funny, like lots of surreal bits, lots of funny bits, and then the chemistry of those characters is a good time.
It comes through in the opening big time.
Yeah, totally.
Man, I didn't think we would get so into the opening, but how can we not?
That was one of my favorite music-based ones that are on here, just because I'd obviously seen them all, but I had absorbed, at least the majority of those, and the Chainsaw Man one's just like off the hook.
Chainsaw Man is one of those rare ones where I won't skip the opening.
Yeah, that's a good point. I found that we weren't really skipping the opening either because it was just like, let it play. This is a good time.
Yeah. That's where I was with Jujutsu Kaisen's first two openings on the very first arc.
100% with you there.
Okay, now we got to get to best score.
So I can read these ones. We've got Attack on Titan, final season, the final chapters, special one. We have Bocchi the Rock, Chainsaw Man, Demon Slayer, Swordsmith Village arc, Oshinoko, and Suzume.
Admittedly, I listened to the I sent you a playlist of the more chill songs, and I really like that.
Me too.
Demon Slayer, I think it's just because of how weird my sound, or I had the mixing on my soundbar weird. I couldn't hear much of the music over the action. That's on me. That's not on anybody else.
Yeah, if you listen to that one, it actually stood out to me out of all of these. When I was, again, guys, I looked them up on YouTube, or we looked them up on YouTube, and I just kind of like clicked through and just sampled little sections of it, because that's all I had time for. Most of these OSTs are like 2 hours long. And I have to say that Demon Slayer just historically has really good music. Yeah. Even if the mixing of it didn't come through for you while watching it, the score has like some really cool parts to it.
I heard like the key hits from the score for the key moments though.
Yeah.
Which does matter. That makes a huge difference for that one.
Definitely. Yeah. Another one that stood out to me was Suzume, which...
Yeah, same here, actually.
It was really good. The parts that I heard,
that was really beautiful.
Yeah, like really good ambiance. I can actually remember watching, because I have seen that. It's just such a artistic masterpiece, that I think the music really added to the atmosphere of the whole film. And so,
yeah, it looks like it does.
Yeah, man. Funny enough, the clicking through the Bocchi the Rock and Oshinoko, even though they're, I'm assuming, quite musical. Now you got me questioning it. I don't know if Oshinoko is very musical, even though it's an idol anime. I have no idea.
I don't know either.
Yeah. But neither Bocchi the Rock nor Oshinoko like did it for me. The little clips that I like clicked through, they weren't connecting with me too much. Chainsaw Man, I
think with Bocchi, it's more about like all the actual rock moments of the band itself.
Totally. And 100% agree. And I wasn't sure, like, do we get to count that in voting for this? Like, probably, but I don't know. Like, I'm assuming the songs are awesome in that show, but then the background music, which is all I clicked through, was like middling, or whatever. Because you're probably right. The music from the actual show is probably wicked.
I'm sure those, like, the score is for like the more emotional beats, like all the funny moments or like the more heartfelt moments.
Yeah.
Which is kind of pointing out the obvious, I realize, but for like a musical based show about a band, we know what actual part of the soundtrack is front and center for that.
Totally. Yeah, exactly. Chainsaw Man, I agree with you. That was actually the parts that I listened to. Quite cool. Attack on Titan, though, was
pretty legendary.
That was awesome. I clicked through that and I'm just like, man, this is quite killer.
Hasn't lost a step.
No, musically awesome.
I think Attack on Titan's got to get my bet.
Yeah, I think I'm with you there. And then for like my popular, not popular, my personal take, it might be AOT as well, but Demon Slayer, like clicking through that, it had some, I'm just like, oh yeah, this is Demon Slayer.
I did like what stood out on that when you sent me that playlist, yeah.
And then Suzume, I was like, man, this is pretty sweet. And I think just to like shake it up a little bit, I think on this one, I think I'm going to go with Suzume.
Ooh, I was actually kind of thinking that too.
Hey man, we can copy each other all the way through this. There's no judgment there.
Oh man. That was another part with the Swordsmith Village arc that I probably need to go back and actually put my full attention on.
Yeah.
Was the music as well. You know what? I'm just gonna copy you. I'll go Suzume.
Awesome. Love it.
Oh man, now we're on to the fun one, or the other fun one.
Yeah, this is a good one. This is a toughie.
This one's actually really tough.
This is a toughie. So on to best anime song. This is a great category. Let's go. We have Idol, which we've talked about quite a bit here for Oshinoko. We have Kickback, also raved about that for Chainsaw Man. Seishun Complex for Bocchi the Rock. Suzume for Suzume. Where Our Blue Is for Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. And then Work for Hell's Paradise.
That one was the one that kind of didn't really stand out to me too much.
Yeah, like I said for that last category, it kind of floats to the bottom. It was a good intro and a good song and stuff, but doesn't compete with some of these bigger bangers in this list. So yeah, we can let that one kind of float to the bottom. I'm with you on that. What are your thoughts on Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, this Where Our Blue Is song? And me too.
Let the record show though that like I love the very technical guitar playing that's in this song. Like I love that style of playing so much.
Yeah.
And it is a good song, but again, compared to what the other song they used was.
Yeah.
I do feel bad that we're doing that, but at the same time, it's kind of tough not to.
Yeah, and what I thought you were going to say is compared to these other ones, but I agree with what you said.
Well, also,
yeah, compared to the other song in the show, which is probably totally unfair of us to do, but it's just we're human bias right here. It's just not quite as good. But then comparing it to these other nominees, these other ones we're about to go through are really good.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah, even...
Well, you know what? Suzume actually stood out to me more than I thought it would.
So that song became highly popular. Like...
Did it really?
Yeah. It's got a gajillion views, and then it's a pretty commonly used song for like shorts and reels and TikToks, I think. Like just the first do-do-do-do-do's. That's all you get from me guys. I'm not going to try. You get do-do-do-do-do's. The first do-do-do-do-do's are like iconic. Like it's an iconic, that key melody of the song is very iconic now. The rest of the song is very good. But that part has become
That part is iconic.
super iconic. Yeah. This Save Soon Complex song for Bocchi the Rock was pretty good.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Really fun. But for me, the battle,
Yeah, I already know where you're going.
guys, the battle is between Idol and Kickback. So Oshinoko and Chainsaw Man. Those songs are awesome.
I listened to Idol so many times after I sent it to you.
That song blew me away when you sent it to me. I was like, what is this? That was my first touch with Oshinoko because like I had no idea it was a thing. You sent me the song without the opening. So we're kind of doing things in reverse order. I listened to the song when you sent to me, the opening next, and then the outro. And the song and the opening both use the song. And holy, this song goes hard.
It shouldn't, but it does. I don't get it.
Yeah, you guys got to listen to it. And I want to check out the anime so that I can like get on the wavelength that the comments are on. Like what's going on in the lyrics of the song, right? Like something more is going on here and I am not privy to it and I want to be.
Can't believe the biggest one came out and we just barely missed it.
Yeah, kind of funny. I would say maybe as cool as Kickback is, because it is also like that song goes hard too by itself. But I think it stands up way better alongside the music video for me.
Yeah, I can actually see that.
It stands on its own. Don't get me wrong. Like it definitely does. But but
the visuals.
Yeah, bring it to another level.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, that Idol song, maybe it's the bias. Like actually, this is probably totally bias at play. Where Kickback, I heard with the video for the first time, and it was like just this whole experience all in one. Whereas Idol, you sent me the song, and I was like, holy crap! I'm just listening to the song, and I'm like, this is nuts. And so I didn't even see it with the intro at first. And so I have this bias where that the song Idol stands on its own just that bit better than Kickback. But I think that's totally bias.
Yeah. I listened to the song first too without any of the visuals. And oh my God, it's too good. It has no right being that good.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I know my vote and my bet here. So I'm going to keep those to myself. What are yours?
I'm giving favorite to Kickback, and I'm giving my bet to Idol.
Nice. So you had mentioned that you loved that Chainsaw Man opening.
I love it so much.
It's so good. Excellent choices. You said Idol for your bet. Man, I could totally see that for the bet because it's man, I'd love to actually see the views on these two. So Idol for bet, that's awesome. My bet though is gonna be Suzume. Just because of like
really?
Yeah, that song is, and maybe this is just like the lens through which I've seen in the last year, but like I saw that song everywhere this year. Just like on countless Instagram reels about Japan and like travel ones and stuff. Like it was everywhere for me. I think it just like hit critical mass a little bit and bled out to elsewhere. And for that reason, maybe for like an anime fan base, maybe they are going to go with Idol because it's just like so off the hook or something. But I'm thinking that maybe Suzume will take it because it was such a iconic song. And then for my vote, it has to be Idol because you blew my mind with that song when you sent it to me the other day. I was like,
oh man,
what is this? So
if you think we're underselling this song, I sent it to other people saying, wow, this song goes hard for no reason, and everybody agreed.
Yeah, you guys have to check it out. Out of all of these, I mean, you guys have heard Kickback. Once you hear Suzume, you will be like, oh yeah, that one, and it's beautiful.
Yeah,
but out of all of these, the one you have to just punch into YouTube is Idol, for Oshinoko, because it's just like, this is crazy.
It's so good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Next category is must protect at all costs character. I love that this is a category. I think I said that last year.
I do too. This one, I don't know. There's just something about it that warms my heart.
Definitely.
And I only don't know two of them.
Really, I don't know a whole bunch of them, actually.
Really?
Well, yeah.
Well, you know three of them.
I know. I technically know four of them. Okay, so you're right. I know. I know 3.5 of them, which I can explain. So we have Anya Forger. We have
our baby boy.
We do Boji. Enough said. from Ranking of Kings. We have Hitori Goto from Bocchi. We have Miri Unosaka from Buddy Daddies. We have Pochita from Chainsaw Man. Showing some of my bias there in my excitement. And then we have Suletta Mercury from Mobile Suit Gundam, the witch from Mercury.
I haven't seen it, but this apparently is like very, very good.
Really? And who's this character? Like, I almost need to check.
I think this is the main character.
Oh,
well,
really?
Obviously.
Well, I mean, sometimes that's not obvious, like Pochita, or, you know, like sometimes it's a side character, I think, for this. But okay, she seems like a sweet little girl. I don't know her.
She seems, I
don't know her
nice.
life.
I don't know Unosaka, but that's, from what I've gathered for Buddy Daddies, it's like, it's kind of like Spy X Family, except instead of one being a spy and one being assassin, they're both assassins, and, you know, they're both dudes.
Yeah, I hate to oversimplify it that way, but I think it came out at a time that it was inevitably going to be compared to Spy X Family.
Yeah.
You know? And it is what you're saying. You've got two assassins. I've watched the first 1 or 2 episodes. I would really like to circle back to it, actually. The main girl doesn't stand out in my memory. I remember her being cute, though, and I'm a sucker for the protect at all costs kind of idea of like, you know, she stumbles into these guys' life and I'm just like, or lives. And I'm like, this is pretty cool. So she was when I said 3.5 characters, she's the half.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
okay.
Where I can't really speak much to it, but I have seen the first episode or 2 of that show.
Okay.
And she was cute.
I want to clarify real quick. I know I had oversimplified it with that, Spy Family comparison, but
it's
I guarantee it stands out on its own, I'm sure.
Yeah, like it's definitely, when you give it a go, it's definitely its own thing.
It's got its own merits.
But like I said, like I think everyone's going to be simplifying it that way. Like you were bang on to do that, because like that comparison, it's just timing, right? Like that comparison's going to be made inevitably. So, and totally different plot. Like, you know, the plot of Spy Family, the reason that there's this like faux family being formed, and then the reasoning behind Buddy Daddies, like it's totally different. But when you're just trying to do the elevator pitch of it, like 100%, everyone knows Spy X Family now, and it's just like, yeah, it's like, you know, Spy X Family, 2 assassin dudes, you know, have this little girl in tow. So that's all good. The one that I haven't seen much of at all, is Hitori Goto from Bocchi, because we've gone through this.
Oh, she's a sweetheart.
Is she really?
She's so cute. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, I have to.
She is such a sweetheart.
Google her.
Like the first episode is her writing a new song in her closet to post on the internet.
What?
She's like a really skilled musician, but she has like horrible social anxiety, so she goes by a pen name online.
Oh, so she's the main character.
Yeah, she's the main character.
Gotcha.
And it's funny because a girl picks her out from the street because she's carrying her guitar around.
Yeah.
And she brings her back to fill in for the guitarists who couldn't make it to their band's thing.
And is she like terrified?
Oh, she's like trying to convince them to let her hide in the trash can and perform on stage.
I gotta check this out.
Oh, it's really funny, and it's, like I said, she is such a sweetheart.
That's awesome.
But being the musician here, I've definitely felt that stage fright. It is horrible.
Very relatable then.
Yeah, and I can relate to the whole wanting to do the content creator anonymity thing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's sweet. I got to check that show out because it sounds like a sweet premise. Like Comey can't communicate. Here, I'm going to do an oversimplification. Oversimplification. Comey can't communicate, but music.
Yeah, kind of.
But probably not at all. Kind of, but probably not at all. I want to check that out, though. It seems like a sweet premise. Super relatable.
I think you guys would really like it, yeah.
Awesome. Everybody knows Anya. She's a good time still.
Yeah, she is.
And then...
I'm going to be honest, we didn't get a lot of time with Pochita.
No, I agree. Like, I love that he's on this list. Because like even just at face value, even without a lot of time, I could see a lot of votes going his way just because he's a cute little chainsaw dog.
Oh my god, it's so cute.
It's just, you know, one shot, one kill right to the heart where you're like, I love this little pup. you know? And there is, even though he didn't get a lot of screen time, I agree, there's an endearing connection between them, right? Like that's there. So that strikes right to the heart as well, which is pretty powerful. So, but you're right. He doesn't do much other than like, you know, these bits of flashback, and then, you know, he's a source of power more than anything. So what are you gonna go with?
This is tough.
It is.
It's even more tough because as much as I want to give it to give my vote to Boji, I can't because I haven't seen that arc yet.
Oh no, I didn't even think of that. That's fair.
And of course, we've gone over this. We love Boji.
We love Boji. You know, funny enough, I like defaulted to Boji for that reason, just staying true to myself.
That's kind of what I want to do too.
But you know, without spoiling the season for you, I kind of told you before how it was like this in-between-quel in a sense, where it's like part sequel, part in-between-quel of the first season. And because of that, you actually don't get a ton of Boji in this one because it's a lot of these side stories. Well, yeah, like they're double clicking on a lot of other characters. You still get some Boji for sure, but they double click on a lot of the other characters throughout the season. So it's a little less centered on him. I mean, my vote, I'm just such a sucker for Boji. I think my vote could go to Anya because she just continues to be awesome. But I don't think I've seen Core 2. Have I?
Neither have I.
I don't think I have. Actually, maybe we started it, but I didn't go far into it. I saw the whole.
Oh, I think you did say you started it.
I think I did. Yeah, I think you're right. I think I got to go with Boji for my personal vote just because of my investment in him and his life. And then for my bet, I mean, you're selling me on the main character of Bochi here.
She's so cute. It makes me angry. That's my reaction to cute stuff is violence.
Violence that's too cute for this world. I think I'm going to go with Anya for my bet. I think she's just, you know, stolen the heart of the world. So is
I'm going to give my bet to Bochi, actually.
Yeah.
Just from the little bit I've seen of her, it's pretty much, it feels like a guarantee in the back of my brain. My favorite's tough, though. You know what? All chips on Hitori Goto.
Love it.
God, that threw me through a loop. Boji.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to clarify. I heard Bochi, but I wanted to just double check.
Yeah.
Man, I could almost see, like, I don't know enough about 3 of these characters, but I could almost see Pochita. Like, I'm not going to switch my bet, but I could almost see Pochita taking it just for being a cute chainsaw dog.
Yeah. God, this one's going to surprise us, I guarantee.
Yeah,
it.
I'm so excited for the reveal of this one.
I need to watch Witch from Mercury, though. That one seems wild.
Really? Like, it looks like a good entry into
It looks,
Gundam?
Yeah. I think it might be its own standalone thing from Gundam. I'm not sure yet.
There's definitely lots of ways to get into it, I think. But if it stands alone, then I wouldn't hesitate to check it out. Just it's been a while since I've watched anything Gundam.
Yeah, same here. I started one of the more popular 90s ones a while ago, and I didn't get too far in.
Yeah.
Next category.
Right, next category. What do we got?
We got Best Supporting Character, and here are our nominees. Arataka Reagan, legend. Zoe Hanji, legend. Kana Arima, which one is this one? I don't know her. She's from Oshinoko. That's all you're getting out of me. We have Power. Gojo Satoru, we already know him. And Geto Suguru.
Crazy that we got 2 nominations for Jujutsu Kaisen.
I know.
Of the boys.
And one of them wasn't even he doesn't feel like he's the supporting character.
It's
actually both of them don't.
Well, I know, supporting character so weird. You know what? Guys, I'm so sorry. We are incompetent and couldn't do our full research, but this makes me feel like what you said could be true, that we are supposed to be analyzing only the first little bit of Jujutsu Kaisen, right? Because the first little bit, I mean, these two guys are, well, okay, maybe I'm wrong. Those two guys become like the protagonists of the first little bit of the show.
Yeah.
Not even the supporting characters. So I have no idea what's going on.
I don't like the anime awards don't make sense to me, man. Like last year they blew through like what 10 categories in the first 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, that was unsatisfying.
So one of us doesn't understand their system, and I think it's them. Yeah, I'm throwing down the gauntlet.
That's so funny. What I do like about this is regardless of what the heck a supporting character even means, and the decision-making process that goes into it, I do love that Gojo and Geto are like battling it out in this category.
Yeah.
That's pretty nuts. But I'm with you. I don't know Kana Arima from Oshinoko. The other 5 though, like these are awesome characters, and
these
is a tough
big
category.
Names. I mean, Reagan, come on, he's Reagan.
Legend. Like you said it first. Like, and same with Hanji. It's so hard to, like, those two are legendary supporting characters.
And Power, I love Power so much.
Yeah, and so do I, and I think a lot of the internet probably does. You know, she is unhinged and adorable and powerful, and that's such a sick trio of things, you know.
That makes up my favorite character trope.
It's a great trope. Yeah, it really is. So I would say that maybe she would struggle to stand up against these other 4.
Yeah, that is the big part, because Zoe, Hanji, and Arataka Reagan definitely have that. It's another tenured thing too for them.
For sure. And same with Gojo. Like, you just slap Gojo in any category and it's going to be really tough. Like, I would say that, I mean, we haven't done this with any other category, but if I had to rank these from least to strongest kind of thing, I would say that we've got the Oshinoko character, then Power, then Geto is how I would kind of rank it, ascending in power. Well,
yeah,
you know, like I think the other 3 probably just beat him up.
Yeah, that's so true, actually.
Just a guess. Like, I think people love him too. But I think that compared to these other 3, it's just like Gojo's an icon now.
He is. He really is. Understandably so too.
Totally. But exactly. And he is just an iconic character now. And then the other 2 for their respective shows are just legendary side characters or / main characters, really. Like, Reagan's hardly a side character.
He steals the show, let's be honest.
He steals the show. He totally steals the show. And as much as I freaking love so many of these characters, I think he has to be my vote.
Your favorite?
Yeah.
Or your bet?
Like, I was probably both. Probably both.
I can see that.
It's tough because, like, I do think Gojo has just like a thing, you know, where he just has a fucking magnetic energy that could just, he's OP. He's OP in every sense of the word.
It's so funny. We talked about this on the very first episode, but like, he's another Kamina guy. He can talk the talk and then back it up.
Totally. Yeah. 100%. And you know what? Actually, let's put this in context to this season. He, we'll talk about it at length in the Gush episode, but
I think I know where you're going.
Right? Like, he does work in this season is all I'm going to say. So, and he, even though he doesn't get a lot of screen time, like, overall the season, like you were saying at the start of the episode, he is a prominent character in the start of the season and does work. So he does nothing but enhance his iconicness, or whatever the correct word is there, during this season. Yeah. Similarly, we finally get to see more Geto. Right?
We actually get to see everything that he was planning put into fruition. Yeah.
So that's another cool thing, is we get illuminated on him. And I wouldn't be surprised if he, like, I guarantee he's got like a solid cult following. A little,
Yeah, I would imagine.
a little surprised that Toji isn't on here in a sense, because like he was one with a huge cult following where like everyone was so hype about Toji coming into the spotlight for part of the season.
Oh yeah.
Tons of hype and lived up to it a lot in that, like in some of the battles and shit that he was a part of, which was cool. But what a good season. We're going to have such a good time talking about it.
I can't wait for that. I almost just want to stop now and just do that.
Yeah, you're right. Stop me now.
We got to power through. I'm giving Reagan my favorite.
Okay, got it. Love it. Who's your vote? I mean, who's your bet? I haven't written mine down either.
Oh man. Probably Zoe.
You know what? That could make a lot of sense here too. Like just to like place a bet on, you know, putting it in context again, like I did like we did with Gojo. Her role in the special that this is referring to is quite substantial.
Yeah.
Right? So I think you're pretty safe on that. And that's why I put Reagan, Hanji, and Gojo in the top 3 of this category. Gosh, that's tough. I think I'm going to retract my Reagan, and I'm going to go with Gojo or Hanj. You know what? If we're actually betting, I have to copycat you on this because of what I just said. Because of the context of the special, I think she could do it, even though Reagan is a legend, and Gojo is also a legend. All three of them. Okay. Moving on.
I do feel bad that we do have the Oshinoko character as the outlier, but again, we haven't seen it. I'm sure she's like a important character and really fun and whatever.
No doubt. Yeah, I'm so glad you say that because it's so true. We are super out of the loop on that one for now. Because that's like out of all of this award show, like all these nominees, that out of everything I haven't seen is at the top of the list of like must go back and check out. Okay. We got a big category.
Big one.
What is it?
Best main character.
That's big.
We've got Denji from Chainsaw Man, Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan, Hitori Goto from Bocchi the Rock, Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece, Mob from Mob Psycho, and Thorfinn from Vinland Saga.
That's a crazy inclusion.
That's a spoiler image.
On the website?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, I guess any image from season 2 is a spoiler for me.
Yeah, that's fair. You've said a lot about Hitori Goto. You've kind of sold me that she's probably an awesome main character. However, this is a big list.
Compared to who she's up against with at least 3 of them? Yeah.
Yeah. Like this is I actually think 4. I'm going to go ahead and say that Thorfinn also floats to the bottom.
Oh.
Yeah. He's one of my favorite main characters. Like I have so much to say about Vinland Saga. Maybe when you rewatch or watch the second season at some point, like maybe we could do like an episode zooming in on that because there's so much I could say about it. And Thorfinn's such an interesting character and went through so much in the second season and the first season. But in the season that this is talking about, so much went on with him. And he's such a wonderful character. But the 4 in the middle, I don't think he stands a chance against.
Yeah. I'm just going to say it right now. Last year was huge for One Piece.
Yeah.
A conclusion to what was apparently their biggest arc yet, on top of a new movie coming out.
Yeah, I admittedly stayed away from all of it because of spoilers. I'm like, in my infancy there. I'm like episode 350 or something. But I did, through the grapevine, hear those whispers, more than a whisper, that it was a very big year for Luffy.
It was gigantic.
Also sorry, hit me.
Oh, I think we were going with the same thing with who else had a huge year last year.
Eren Yeager.
Yep.
Yeah. So the thing about that though is that this is special number 1. That's what throws me about this. This is special number 1.
I don't like that part.
I don't understand what they're doing with we said this off air, I believe, but like I kind of think maybe they're saving Special 2 for next year so
Yeah.
that we can have Attack on Titan in the anime awards for one more year. That's just all my own theory. But Aaron had a huge year this year, the biggest year. But if this is contextualized to like Special number 1, it's just like it's made a little bit weird, right?
Yeah, that one was more Mikasa heavy in my eyes.
Totally.
And my recollection.
Yeah, and like even other characters, like, I mean, the whole crew.
Yeah, actually.
You know, it was more about, I mean, both are all about the crew, but that one, like, actually, like, Aaron takes a pretty heavy back seat, I think, in Special number 1.
When I think of Special 2, I only see Aaron on the throne.
Yeah, in Special 1, I think he's just going. I don't think he's like, he's just going. We're just walking. He's just out for a walk. I could be totally misremembering. I'm sure he's got some flashbacks and lines and stuff like that, but for the most part in Special 1, I think he's just walking. And then everybody else is like really doing the work in that one. So
yeah, it's a matter of trying to catch up to Aaron in Special 1.
Yeah. So huge year though, but it makes this contest a little weird. Like probably people are voting the heck out of him, but maybe the judges have like a different vision for.
I do wonder that.
You know, we're back to the rule. We don't know the rules, guys. Like who knows?
I don't even think they do.
Right. Other than they're probably being super strategic and saving Special 2 for next year because like Attack on Titan's so big, but
yeah.
But you looked it up and it came out in November. So I couldn't remember, but it came out in November and that's just a little weird. But anywho, I would also say Denji made a big splash, right? Chainsaw Man made a big splash.
Oh, yeah.
And Denji was like you said earlier, a breath of fresh air for protagonists. And then just to say my piece on Mob, like what a wonderful main character of a show. And then for that show to conclude, the things he's gone through all this time and then to get a conclusion, like Mob belongs on this list, making it very difficult.
I've only ever seen the first 2 seasons still, but I can agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Even if you see one season, he still belongs here.
Totally. Yeah. That's such a nice thing to say. And I totally agree. He is just such an endearing character. Also like a breath of fresh air in his own way, just because of the story that the show tells. And then for it to conclude the way it did, I won't say anything because you'll probably watch it. He's awesome. Making this very difficult, guys.
This is very tough. I'm going to be honest. I as much as I love Denji, Aki came out as my favorite character from that entire. Well, obviously, I was gushing about power, but I think overall, Aki came out as my favorite.
Yeah, that's fair.
Aki, Aki, either way.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to throw a curveball on this one.
Do it.
My bet is going to Monkey, Mr. Monkey D. Luffy.
I can see it. I can see it. I can see it, and I think I almost have to copy you, but it's so hard.
I know.
It's so hard. Just because the way Mob ended, and then the way like I just don't get what the rules are with Aaron.
I don't either.
I just don't get it, but it can't be. He wasn't the coolest character of all time in Special 1. Like
he's the main subject, absolutely.
Totally. Okay, I'm copycatting you on that. If they had a big year, he's the man.
Oh, I love Luffy.
Gotta copy it. And then I gotta do my vote to Mob. The lad deserves it.
That's gonna be your favorite?
Yep.
Oh man, I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go opposite. I'm going Denji for my favorite.
Wicked choice. Also so deserving. Like we said, guys, this was a toughie. Like this is some heavy hitters. You're gonna help us through this one, man. Admittedly, this was not a year for slice of life for me. So I have seen exactly 0 of these.
I have seen 2.5 technically.
That's awesome. So tell us about, maybe go through the list and tell us what you know about them. Synopses is where you want them, and we'll go from there.
I'll give the nominees and then the synopses for the 4 I don't know.
Sounds good.
So we're on Best Slice of Life with the nominees of Bocchi the Rock, Do It Yourself, Horimiya, The Missing Pieces, Insomniacs After School, My Love Story with Yamada-kun at level 999, and Skip and Loafer. Now, Do It Yourself, it's literally a high school club anime. It's about a do-it-yourself club.
Oh.
That's, yeah, plain and simple.
That sounds
Bare
awesome.
bones.
That sounds nice.
That's all you need. See, the one that caught my eye was Insomniacs After School. It's basically about this high school kid who suffers from insomnia, and on, I guess, like a night he was just walking around because he couldn't get to sleep. He met another girl who suffers from insomnia, and a little romance blooms from
sounds
this.
Lovely.
Then Skip and Loafer, it's your typical fish out of water. Country girl moves to big city and befriends the most popular guy in school by accident.
Nice.
My Love Story with Yamada-kun, however, sounds pretty cool. A girl is cheated on by her boyfriend, and she ends up ranting about it to some random guy in her MMO guild, and he just says, "I don't care." And then apparently they accidentally meet in public, and she just starts to glom onto him or something.
Nice. That is super interesting.
I'm going to be honest. Insomniacs After School and My Love Story with Yamada-kun sound very intriguing.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. I've heard the name. This is going to make me sound awful if this is some like banger of an anime, but Horimiya is something that
You heard that from me.
Say that again, sorry?
You heard that one from me.
Oh, you're probably right. Like, probably. So this one was a big deal. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, I asked my friend about it, actually, because I started watching this season. I was like, why does this season feel so off? And she told me that apparently, first of all, they didn't animate the first season to a T, so a lot of stuff was missing. And then they decided to, I guess, fix that with this one. But it's out of order in terms of episodes.
Oh, that's bizarre.
Or something to that degree. So, yeah, I loved the first season. That was a very fun watch. This one, I'm kind of, like, I still like it, but it's kind of feels odd.
And what's it about?
It's about this loner kid in high school who somehow I can't remember actually how they met, but he ends up getting a girlfriend, and this like very outgoing, nice girl, and it kind of changes his whole outlook on everything because it gives him more friends.
That's cool. I really do love slice of life genre. Like, I need a little bit more of it in my life. Yeah, it's just like all of these, as you've described them, they just sound nice.
Dude, they sound so relaxing because you and I are typically blood and gut idiots, you know?
Yeah, dude. It's true. But anytime
I
I've
love
watched
my blood and guts, but
yeah,
we need this.
Yeah, exactly. And anytime I have watched something slice of life, it's been so refreshing and nice. So
yeah.
And then the last one, I think the last one is Bocchi the Rock, which you've talked about at length, and that also sounds like such a good time.
I'm going to be completely honest. My votes are kind of tied. My vote for my bet, anyway, is tied between Bocchi and Insomniacs.
That's for bet?
Yep. Favorite's going to Bocchi.
Nice. And you know what, guys? I hate to do this, but I think it makes sense for me to totally bow out of this one. Because, like, I'm just, like, full-on guessing at this point. I guess I could guess for fun, but really, I'm, like, blind guessing. I don't even know the popularity of these things, so I have no idea. I think it makes sense for me to bow out.
Yeah.
So you want to lock in a tie between Bocchi and Insomniac?
I'll give bet to wait, no. You know what? All chips on Bocchi again.
Okay. Love it.
I actually do want to watch that do-it-yourself one, though.
Yeah. That sounds sweet. Bocchi sounds sweet. And then all four of the other ones sound lovely. But particularly the My Love Story and Insomniacs, like you said, they seem kind of interesting. Nice.
So that was best slice of life.
Yeah, man. Now we're on to best drama.
Our nominees are Oshinoko, Attack on Titan, Final Chapters 1, Heavenly Delusion, My Happy Marriage, To Your Eternity Season 2, and Vinland Saga Season 2.
Sweet. I've seen 2 of these.
I've seen one.
Attack on Titan, I guess, eh?
Yeah. Heavenly Delusion. Heavenly Delusion. Kiriko accepts a mysterious woman's dying wish to take a boy named Maru to a place called Heaven.
Oh, yeah, right.
So,
You hit us with that
yeah.
earlier. I just totally forgot it.
Yeah, so post-apocalyptic escort mission.
Right. And then what is...
And my
yeah.
happy marriage is Mio's abusive family deems her worthless, but together with her powerful husband-to-be, her true self and hidden powers slowly begin to shine.
Okay. Now, I remember To Your Eternity Season 1 making a splash, but I don't remember what it was about. I feel like I'm sleeping on that one.
I could have sworn you said you watched one episode.
I want to say I watched
maybe?
one episode. Is that the one that starts in like the Arctic kind of situation? And
Yeah, it looks like it, yes.
yeah. I remember it being a big deal when it came out, and I remember watching the first episode and being like, ooh, this could get pretty interesting, but we didn't get around to finishing it. So it's like about some sort of everlasting being experiencing humanity or something, right?
Ooh, I like that plot.
I could be making that up. That was a question. I want to say that there's, if I remember the inciting incident, I want to say that there's some sort of being that hops from body to body over time and is kind of just experiencing things. But guys, I could be like out to lunch here.
I mean, let's just be brutally honest here. It's going to be between Oshinoko and Attack on Titan.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I'm going to lock right in my vote, though. Vinland Saga Season 2 was one of the most important stories I've ever seen in my life. Like, I absolutely love that story, and no one else gets my vote for best drama.
Ooh, bold.
I loved Season 2. I know people hated it, but I loved Season 2. And then you're right, though. I think for Bet, we've got those two are heavy hitters. You've made it sound like Oshinoko made a huge splash this year. I definitely need to check it out. And then Attack on Titan's Attack on Titan, right?
Yeah. I'm going to give my favorite to Attack on Titan, but my bet is definitely going to Oshinoko.
Nice choice. I am going favorite vote for Vinland, and then bet for Attack on Titan.
Now we're on to best fantasy. We have the Swordsmith Village arc, Demon Slayer. I feel like I shouldn't have to say Demon Slayer, but I know someone's going to be like, what's that? If I just say Swordsmith Village arc.
Yeah, give us a synopsis. I don't know that one.
This guy has a really bad babysitting job. We have Hell's Paradise, Mashal, Mudgik and Massels.
Nailed it.
I had a stroke just now. Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation, Ranking of Kings, and The Ancient Magus' Bride Season 2.
Nice. This is a great selection, guys. It's a bit of a toughie, but I think that there's some big names that'll probably just sweep potentially.
I have only ever seen manga caps of Hell's Paradise. By the way, I've noticed this lately. So, new drinking game. Every time I say I've only seen a screen cap, take a sip.
That's awesome. I didn't even notice you saying that.
I noticed it the other week.
That's hilarious. I got quite far into Hell's Paradise. I need to finish it still. It was pretty dope, to say the least. It does look sick. It's quite sick. It's very blood and guts, feudal Japanese, but very fantasy because they are on a mission to the divine. Like it is bizarre as well. So that one's quite crazy. In terms of like actual fantasy, like Mushoku Tensei is obviously like it's always a heavy hitter. I have not gotten into too far of season 2, but I do find it awesome. Ranking Kings, talked about that a lot in a previous episode. That's pretty sweet. Ancient Magus Bride, I haven't really watched myself. My partner's watched a bunch of it. It seems quite intriguing. Very like interesting.
I love the artwork for it.
Right? Like very cool. Very cool. And then Mashal is just a brilliant concept. Like hit me with a comedic Harry Potter meets anime, and and like the pro tag being Muscle. It's pretty funny. Although I have to say I watched maybe 3 episodes and didn't continue because it kind of like the joke played out. Right.
Diminishing returns.
Yeah, diminishing returns, exactly. And I feel like maybe I need to give it some more because it probably does pick up in spikes again, but like it had diminishing returns for sure. So this one's tough.
You know what? Man, I'm going all chips Demon Slayer.
Yeah, like that's kind of what I'm thinking for once as well, is like, and when I say for once, I mean, I remember last year saying, I think I picked something else for fantasy. I think I probably picked Ranking of Kings or something for fantasy.
Yeah. We had a whole discourse about what we actually think is fantasy.
Exactly. And that's why I say I almost want to double up on Demon Slayer as well, because it was an awesome arc. And I think it was probably more popular than some of these other ones this year. Maybe.
I could have sworn people didn't have a lot of praise for Hell's Paradise, but I might be wrong.
That's a great question. I feel maybe the opposite. Like maybe people were kind of into it, but that's totally a guess. Like I don't know. It might be one where like people loved the manga and didn't care as much about the anime.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Right. So this is tough. I could also see Mashal coming through because it was like quite entertaining. I think it comes up in comedy again later.
Oh yeah.
And Mushoku Tensei, I think, is a pretty classically, like, it's a great fantasy. I remember raving about that last year too, because it was on the list. Okay, I'm doubling with Demon Slayer as well.
All right. Now this next one, there's literally only one I haven't seen.
What are we on? Best action? Ooh, big category.
Yeah. This one's huge. We have Attack on Titan, Bleach, Chainsaw Man, Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, and One Piece.
Oh my god.
Oh.
My Kami-sama.
I'm seeing Jujutsu Kaisen and I'm already drooling.
So, I hate to keep bringing it up, but is it the whole Shibuya arc? I don't understand.
I think this time it is. And since we're going in it with that lens, there was literally 3 episodes of just pure fights.
It was insane. Like, it was absolutely insane. And as much as all these other ones were crazy, like that first Attack on Titan special was nuts. 1,000 Year Blood War arc continues to be fire. Chainsaw Man, huge splash. Such a good first season. Like, so good. Swordsmith Village arc, I will say, I'm with you. Weakest arc potentially. Still so good. Usual Demon Slayer awesomeness. One Piece, I don't get to vote because I am closing my eyes and ears. And I know some big things happen, but I can't say much about it. But then Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 was off the hook.
God. Oh, my God.
I'm going to come out and say what you said about the last one. Demon Slayer for everything. I locked in the same. If we're suddenly going to go with this is the whole Shibuya incident, which I'm not convinced. I'm not sure. You know, like even the splash art is showing, you know, Geto and Gojo. Like I really don't know what's going on. But just for fun, who cares? We don't know the rules. I'm going to say if it's the whole Shibuya arc, locking it in for both.
Oh, it is. Because for me, it's showing Itadori and all the characters involved with the arc.
Oh, sick. I haven't refreshed my tab on my phone. So it's an older, you know, they probably just swapped it out kind of thing. So that's sick.
Probably.
All the more reason for me to lock it in. JJK.
You know what? Same.
For both?
Yep.
Yeah. Look forward to the episode, guys. That season was crazy.
We need to move on because we're not going to shut up.
Agreed.
Okay, best comedy. We have Bocchi the Rock, Buddy Daddies, Mashal. That's fun to say, by the way, Buddy Daddy.
Buddy Daddy.
Mashal, Spy Family, Urusei Yatsura, which I will talk about that in a second.
Please do.
And then Zom 100.
Nice.
Hold on. Urusei Yatsura. By the way, it's really annoying. They have it as one word. It's 2 words, but whatever. Chosen as humanity's representative in a duel against invading aliens, the womanizing Ataru faces off against the alien princess Loom, and the conflict follows him home when Loom invades both planet Earth and the reluctant Ataru's love life. By the way, I think this is a reboot.
Oh, really?
Yes, I have seen these 2 characters a lot, and I think it's an 80s anime that got a reboot.
That's really cool. Hang on, sorry guys, let me look it up.
I feel like you will definitely recognize the characters.
Oh my
when you
gosh.
see them.
Okay, so I have heard a little bit about this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It is a reboot from like a 1978 manga. Like, and I don't know when
that far.
Yeah, man. It's like it's golden age here. It says the anime was 1981 to 86. 194 episodes. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, like that's beefy, man. I think it was a pretty decently big deal at the time. You know, this is like some Astro Boy like kind of era anime. So you're right. It is a reboot, which is super sick. Yeah, it's cool that they did that. I don't know how it performed or how beloved the story is. Like, I don't know anything about it, unfortunately, but that is very neat.
This is going to be controversial and probably like ageist on my part, but I can't watch old TV shows.
You know, like I talk about this all the time with one of my best friends. Like, I actually struggle with that. And maybe we can save this more for another episode, but I actually struggle with that with anime for a certain reason. Is that like it's a lot harder to go back and watch OG Bleach when Demon Slayer exists, right?
Yeah.
Like, these things have just gotten so high octane and well made, and they come from the new era of not having to do the same kind of filler and the same kind of poor pacing that existed for serializing anime in the early 2000s. So it's just like this different era. And so I actually struggle with that in the anime world as well. But I agree, like going too far back, it's even harder to watch. For me, like getting even more legacy, like a 1980s anime would be pretty challenging for me to check out.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel you there.
This will also be controversial, but I only see 3 of these getting it.
Yeah, well, maybe 4. What are the 3 you're thinking? Give me
I'm thinking
thoughts.
Bocchi, Spy X Family, and Zom 100.
Okay, and so the 4th one that I would add is maybe Mashal. I don't know its popularity, but I think it's such a clever premise, and I think that, gosh, everybody take a sip the more times I say make a splash, because I think that's been my phrase of the day. But like that's the phrase on my mind right now. Like I do think that it was it's just clever, and I think it hit when it came out well enough, and I think it is quite hilarious. Like it had me laughing, even though I said that it had diminishing returns. It had me laughing. The first episode is totally worth watching. Maybe the first couple. But for me, I've only seen the first couple of Zom 100, and that is like instant. Like I have to finish it. I haven't yet, but
yeah, same here.
Gosh, what a good concept, hey?
God, I know we already talked about it, but everything they do, they hit it out of the park.
Yeah. They're getting my vote for sure. Zom 100.
Yeah, that's getting my favorite.
And then honestly, for popularity, for like the bet of what'll actually come through, I just don't know enough about the other ones, or even about how well like Zom has done. Like I just don't know which one of these hit the hardest for comedy.
I do wonder if the whatever production controversies are going on with Zom are going to
affect some things,
impact it.
Yeah, it's a very good point.
My bet's going to Bocchi, that's for sure.
You would say, hey?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like good as a comedy? Like you thought it was pretty funny?
Absolutely was.
Oh, you got me excited about this one.
I would be so shocked if you didn't like it.
Man, no, that's lovely. Like I have to check it out based on that alone. Well, shoot, I almost want to default to what you said. Like, man, I'm gonna like throw a curveball and just say like, what if Mashal was funny enough to people that it's the one? I'm just gonna say, oh, but can it beat Zom 100? I don't know. I'm saying Mashal. It's such a funny concept, and it probably would have gotten my vote if it weren't for like Zom 100 being such a good opening. I've only seen 2 episodes, and I'm like, that is a potential instant classic. Moving on.
Here's the one we're both going to be lost on.
You got it.
On Best Romance. Best Romance with Horimiya, Insomniacs After School, My Happy Marriage, My Love Story with Yamada-kun, Skip and Loafer, and Tomo-chan is a girl.
Oh my goodness. So I don't know the first 5 because they're all on the other list of Slice of Life. But dude, Tomo-chan as a girl was awesome.
Your significant other has said it's a very wonderful watch.
Yeah, I didn't see all of it, but I watched it over her shoulder and saw quite a bit of it actually, and really enjoyed it. It totally gets my vote.
It does look pretty cute. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was it had some awesome stuff. Like she does martial arts and stuff, and then just the concept of her like trying to explore a different part of herself. Like the idea I think is that she's a bit of a tomboy. Like her dad's has a martial arts dojo, and her best friend is a guy, and he studies martial arts at their family dojo, and so does she. And up until, high school or whatever, they must be in high school now. Like up until then, it's that classic trope of like they're best friends, until one of them gets a crush, and so she's got the crush on him, and she is trying to get him to notice her, and like.
I love that trope.
I know, it's really good. And the part of herself that she's exploring is like the more girly side of herself, because she's grown up being like a tomboy, for lack of a better term, and like a martial artist and all of this, and a bit of a man's man. And it's just like she's trying to, she befriends like unexpected characters, and it's like how do I become more girly girl? You know what? I'm surprised it's not showing in more categories, to be honest. Like in terms of like characters you'd protect at all costs, there's like this really funny character in this story. I forget her name, but I want to say she's like the blonde girl, and she's just like actually hilarious and adorable in all of this. And so it's just like, man, I'm so shocked that this wasn't showing up in comedy even, and some of these other ones. So anyway, that's my spiel on Tomo-chan. I am surprised it's not in more categories, and I thought it was super fun.
I've only seen Horimiya, but honestly, you got me convinced. I'm going to go all chips on Tomo-chan as well.
That's what I'm doing as well. I think we've got a lot of all chips votes this year, which is just it is what it is.
Not that that's a bad thing.
No, I think when something hits, it hits, right? And like some of these other ones might be sleepers. Like they might actually have everyone's attention, but since we haven't seen them, we just don't know, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Got another big one.
Yeah, man.
You want to take this one?
Yeah, we've got Best Art Direction. All the big names. We've got Chainsaw Man. We've got Demon Slayer. We've got Hell's Paradise. Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. Oshinoko again, and Zom 100. Holy man. For art direction? How are we supposed to choose, dude?
I know we keep saying that like Swordsmith Village is kind of like a wet towel in the bunch, but we have said that it's probably got the best animation and art in all the arcs.
It's so crazy. It's so smooth. It's so wild.
But dude, Jujutsu Kaisen and Zom 100 are so crisp.
Totally. Like touching on Zom first, in terms of artistic, stylistic choices, like it's just so, dare I say, it makes a splash. Like it's
my God.
It's got the whole like colorful blood thing, and like, dude, you guys have to watch the first episode. Like, I don't want to spoil it, but the use of color in Zom 100. In fact, I won't spoil it. Go watch the first episode. Come back and talk to me about art. Come back and talk to me about color. Like, what they do with the style of the show as their as a method to tell the story of the first episode, to get you like to get the hook in place, the inciting incident. It's like, it's really impressive, and it's super crisp, like you said.
I'm gonna say something about it. And I don't know how I'm going to touch up on what I'm going to say, but it has this art style that is very inviting.
100%. That's a sweet word.
When you see it, you'll understand what I mean. But I don't know how to articulate that point. But it is such an inviting art and animation style.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And actually, maybe I'm just being influenced by the word, but I would be remiss if I didn't say that Oshinoko, which I've only seen via the opening and the outro, like I said at the start of the episode, holy, did it have inviting art. Like, it is
actually
crispy. It is beautiful. I don't know
I
what's
love the character design.
Yeah, great point. Like the character design's sweet. I don't know what's going on with the like stars in their eyes thing. Like I think there's something about AI with the story. Like I just don't know enough
Ooh.
about what's going on. I don't know what the deal is with their eyes and the stars and stuff, but it's like watch the outro and just like look at some of the images and you're just like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to check this out. It's very beautiful. I just want to give it its due because I'm about to say that the other four are like crazy, right?
Yeah.
Chainsaw Man, wild, great art. Demon Slayer, like you said, great art. Hell's Paradise. I know you haven't seen it, but it actually has such a nice art style as well.
It does look really good.
Really well done.
I love how the main character looks. The guy
Yeah.
with the white hair.
Yeah, Gabimaru is his name, and
That's his name.
they do like something I'm gonna gush about with Jujutsu Kaisen is movement, and it's present in Chainsaw Man, it's
Yes.
present in Demon Slayer, but Hell's Paradise, same thing. Tons of really sick action animation, like in terms of the fighting and the human movement. Hell's Paradise definitely belongs on this list, but like you said about Demon Slayer, same thing. Like so fluid, so crispy. But then Chainsaw Man, like even just watch the intro and you see, which we gushed about earlier. Like it's such a good
Yeah.
intro. You see such like it really brings out you really feel like you're in the real world, but with this crazy demon fantasy element to it. And by that I mean that like they give Denji the ragdoll physics of a human body. You know, like they animate the gravity, they animate the flopping around that takes place in in our real world, and I find that really cool when anime gets that right. Don't get me wrong, love to see some crazy, unrealistic fantasy movement of like flight and weightlessness and stuff like that, but like Chainsaw Man, they just to add to the level of grit, they just animate people really cool. And they do the same thing in Jujutsu Kaisen. I know I'm jumping all over the place, but I'm trying to get to my answers, which is like double lock in Jujutsu Kaisen Shibuya arc was crazy, crazy amazing art when it comes to showing little clips of animating the real world. Like when you see those video montages comparing Shibuya Station in real life to Shibuya Station in the anime. I don't know. Have you seen those?
Yes, and it is insane.
Right? Like they do that thing where they animate like just cups and stuff. Like I know they did it in the first season as well, where they just animate real world shots that are just like real world items, and you're just like, man, why'd they go so hard? Like who's got the budget to make this cup look so nice? And then just
I know.
for all the battles to take place in this train station and city environment that's just like looks so good. And that's me saying nothing about how unreal the fighting is in this season, right? Like the art is just broken in Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah. I'm going to send you my favorite example of art direction that I have ever seen ever. This goes for art direction. This goes for character design. This goes for animation. All of it.
Oh my goodness.
This is the most subtle flex I've ever seen.
I am not even going to hit play on it.
You already know it.
I already know it. Yeah. So he sent me the clip of Aki's, it's titled Aki's Daily Morning Routine from Chainsaw Man. And it is so well animated. Like it is so, and you're so right. It tells a story about this character. Like it develops, like it just tells so much in the subtle flex, as you put it. Wow. So cool.
Like this sequence alone kind of has me wanting to put my bet towards Chainsaw Man.
Yeah. That's a very good call.
God, this is going to be so ridiculous. This might actually be one of my most favorite sequences in any anime I've ever seen.
No, I feel you. In fact, I have to back up a little bit, because when I was talking about the cup and when I was talking about real world stuff, I might have actually been bleeding Chainsaw Man in, which is totally wrong to do and totally unfair, because like this is the kind of thing I was picturing for Jujutsu Kaisen, which is like they have a bit of it, right? Like they, especially some of the environmental scenes and stuff, like they show such cool stuff, but in terms of the everyday objects and stuff, this is more the scene I'm thinking of in Chainsaw Man. Like, you guys got to check it out. It's in episode 4. And it's like glorious.
It's gorgeous.
Gosh, that could
Does this change
do
your-
it. Yeah. Yeah, I think I was just kind of like confusing myself a little bit too. Like, this was pretty insane. For all the reasons I said about Jujutsu Kaisen, which I won't like erase, they did the same kind of idea where it's just
You're
like
just gonna transfer them.
you can because it's just like, man, they've done unreal things with this. Shoot. Is that your vote, Chainsaw Man?
Chainsaw. That's my bet. Yeah, Chainsaw Man.
Well, that's your bet.
I don't know what my favorite's gonna get. That's killing me, actually.
It's so hard. It's so hard.
You know what? I'm gonna throw a wrench in this. My favorite is going to Zom 100.
That's wicked. Totally deserved. So, I mean, this may change our votes a little bit for art direction. Like, art direction has a lot to do with the vibe as well, like just the overall vibe, and that's where Zom 100 definitely shines in this category. The overall vibe. I think I'm gonna keep my answers locked in for Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, just the atmosphere coming from the art is crazy. But if we go up to our next category, best cinematography, I feel like a lot of what we just said kind of bleeds into like
I think so too.
right? Like, cinematography would be a lot more like the shot list. Like, what kind of shots are we getting? Somebody's deciding like what kind of camera angles we're taking. And I think I see. So just to run through the nominees. So we're looking at best cinematography. We have Attack on Titan, Final Chapter Special 1, Chainsaw Man again, Demon Slayer, Heavenly Delusion, Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, Vinland Saga Season 2. We have some heavy hitters again. And just to like speed run a little bit, boil it down, like I think we're looking at, Jujutsu Kaisen again and Chainsaw Man again. And Attack on Titan, that movie was crazy. Like, this is where Attack on Titan comes back into play, I think. Because that movie, like, okay, without heavy spoilers, that movie really showcased the rumbling. I think that was the one that really showcased the gore of the rumbling. And that was crazy cinematography. Like, some of those shots and stuff that they chose to storytell with, like, for if you know, but like the baby scene.
Oh, Christ.
That's the only correct reaction. Like,
oh my God.
So I don't want to discount Demon Slayer, or I don't know what's going on in Heavenly Delusion as far as cinematography is.
I don't either.
I love season 2 of Vinland Saga so much, like I said, and crazy great storytelling again, even through the cinematography, but I don't think it holds a candle to Attack on Titan, Chainsaw Man, and Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. How are you thinking about everything you just said about the Aki scene in Chainsaw Man? How are you thinking about that versus Jujutsu Kaisen Shibuya versus AOT, the rumbling?
Well, you see, hilariously, I've put a huge chunk of my arts study into cinematography. So that's why I love that Aki scene so much, is because if I were to ever do a scene like that, it would be exactly like that. It would be shot that exact way.
That is so cool.
But with Jujutsu Kaisen, the cinematography is so good. Like, I will say the best example I have for you, and it's during a fight, and it's how I want every fight to be like, framed. It's how I want every fight to be lit and followed by the camera. Hold on. This is just one part from the sequence, but you'll know the sequence I'm talking about. It's involving probably the sickest pose down known to man.
Yeah, man. That was, gosh, the season was just, so he sent a gif of Choso. And my goodness, what a string of fights we got to just feast our eyes upon in that season. And yeah, that whole fight was just wild.
That was like perfect cinematography for a fight.
Yeah. I'm really struggling with this one. I really think it comes down to Attack on Titan, Chainsaw Man, and Jujutsu Kaisen. It's actually kind of fun to see Demon Slayer, just such a king, like
Yeah.
be pushed around a little bit, because on these categories, I think these other guys are like actually doing it. You know?
I don't think Demon Slayer expected some heavy hitters this year.
Yeah, it's nuts. I have no idea. Like, man, that Shibuya arc was just crazy from a cinematography standpoint.
Mm-hmm. My favorite vote is going to Chainsaw Man. It just has to, just for that one sequence alone.
Yeah, and that was,
and
I don't know sort of, you know, industry terms as well as you do, but would you say that cinematography, like all these shots in that whole sequence that we were talking about, like, would you say cinematography is one of the things that is shining in that sequence?
Oh, big time, yeah.
Because it's just him going about his day, you know, like, and they're just telling a story about what kind of guy this is via
from camera angles, from like lockdown camera angles, from wide to medium wide to close up.
Totally. And then with Jujutsu Kaisen, you've got this mix of camera angles and decisions around, like you said, lighting and how you're showing these characters fighting, and then simultaneously the environmental shots that I was raving about. Like, they really also, you, like, this is gonna sound so dumb, but like I didn't get to go to Shibuya. That's on my list of places to go back to in Japan, but I got to go into countless train stations and like and walk the streets of Tokyo, and so like you feel like you're in Japan with these shots in the Shibuya.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, you just do. Like, it's, compare it to those walking videos that you check out, right? Like, you're getting these really cool shots of Shibuya and this train station, and like you feel like you're there. And I think that has a lot to do with the storyboard, like what they decided to put on display, right? And how they decided to do it. And then my last, circling back to freaking Attack on Titan, is I'm just remembering one of the standout things in that film is the beginning, where they're just like, yo, the rumbling is happening, let me tell you how it's going. and they do that with some just crazy shots of the rumbling taking place. So this is very difficult for me.
My bet's going to Jujutsu Kaisen just for you hammering home the fact that it does feel like you're actually there.
It, like I said, sounds so cheesy. I'm locking it into for both. I hate it. I hate myself. Jujutsu Kaisen, we said this before, when we were planning the episode out, like, I think we had a pretty strong feeling that it was gonna, a couple of these shows were gonna sweep some things. And Jujutsu Kaisen, I had a feeling I was gonna vote a lot. But it sounded so cheesy that it's like I'm in Japan again, but it really was. Like, I went there this year, and then watching the Shibuya parts of the Shibuya arc, I was like, please, I would like to go see this, please. I remember being in places just like this, you know?
I'd like to go see where this one guy was standing in the real world.
Which you can do. How did they, like...
Yeah, it's true.
They did that. It's so crazy. Okay. That was a long one, but it had to be a long one. That was a difficult one.
That was a tough one.
How are we doing? Where are we at? Best director.
Here we celebrate how a great anime and a great director are almost inseparable. Of central importance, directors work behind the scenes, conveying their visions to animators, making critical decisions, and managing the creative aspects of production. The result, an approach that is uniquely theirs. And you know what? With all the nominees for this one, I'm pretty sure we can say safely that's very true.
Who are our nominees?
Daisuke Hiramaki for Oshinoko, Hiro Takamori for Heavenly Delusion, Keiichiro Saito for Bocchi the Rock, Ryo Nakayama for Chainsaw Man, Shota Goshozono for Jujutsu Kaisen, and Yuichiro Hayashi for Attack on Titan.
How, based on that, I'm so glad that you read the description of the category. Based on that description, this is tough again.
Yeah. We are really going deep in it, but like the work that went into Jujutsu Kaisen for this one arc from everyone involved, I mean, come on, dude.
100%.
And that's not to take away from the work that everybody else did for every other title.
Yeah.
But when you finally watch this arc, you will understand.
Yeah, it was just really well put together. And I would say the runner-up for me would be like that special for Attack on Titan was also.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Right? Like all of these are, I mean, again, we haven't seen Oshinoko and Heavenly Delusion. Clearly, they're incredible. They've been nominated for some big categories all throughout this. Yeah, these are all really good, but I'm like really stuck between Jujutsu Kaisen and Attack on Titan because that special was again little knowledge on my part about the role of the director, but based on what you just read, like to put together a movie like that, you know. So, but I'm taking my safe move. I'm doing my signature move this year, which is writing the letters JJK over and over again. So I'm just going to double lock in Jujutsu Kaisen for the reasons you mentioned. Like it's just so much went into all of these, no doubt, but so much had to. How do you make a piece of art like that?
God, I don't know. You know what? My bet is going for Yuichiro Hayashi for Attack on Titan.
Very fair.
But my favorite is going to go to Shota Goshizono for JJK.
Beautiful. And like I could be convinced that Attack on Titan could take that.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely.
Yeah. Amazing. Ooh, this next one's going to be a fun one. We've got best character design. Oh, this is awesome. Okay. We've got so they're not going for specific characters. They're going for shows
overall.
Like whole. Yeah. Almost makes it worse, like harder. We've got Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, really.
Right? Like Chainsaw Man, Demon Slayer, Hell's Paradise, Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, Oshinoko, Trigun Stampede. Where's your head at on this one?
This is going to be very shocking. It's tied between Oshinoko and Chainsaw Man.
That is not shocking to me at all, only because I've seen those scenes of Oshinoko and like, yeah, character design is pretty sweet.
Even more shocking, I almost want to have Hell's Paradise in the third spot.
Also valid. There's like, it's one of those ones where you've got like, well, I mean, it's like any kind of shonen anime where they're just like, we're going to show you a variety of different characters, you know, like we're going to give you this ensemble cast of a whole bunch of different criminals and their attendants, basically. I know you don't know much about the show, but yeah, some sweet character designs. And then even just zooming in, like you said earlier, Gabimaru, like he's just a sweet ninja design, man.
Yeah, he really is. He looks like my favorite VTuber, which is even funnier.
Oh, that's hilarious. Demon Slayer always has pretty sweet character designs.
Yeah.
For sure. Jujutsu Kaisen's got some sweet character designs as well. But Chainsaw Man.
You know what's crazy? I'm going to be completely honest with you. Chainsaw Man, like if you just take away the demon element, they're just people.
That is true.
Like I would even argue they're probably between Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man for who has the most human looking cast of characters they would probably see walking down the street.
Yep, definitely. They don't have the same like, you know, Oshinoko, they've got crazy, you know, they're very anime-esque and crazy stars in their eyes. And then similar, you know, Demon Slayer has a very distinct style, lots of splashes of color and whatnot.
Yeah.
Not super duper human on the street looking. But you're so right about both of those. And I think it's because of the gritty nature of them where they're trying to tell these stories, right? Like they're trying to be in our world, a version of our world, right? Like, they're trying to make it like, what if this happened? You know, like what if in both cases, they're very similar stories. It's like, what if, you know, our negative emotions could create these demons kind of idea. Right. And then if they were actually in our world, how would that feel? And between the two, you're totally right. You've got much more people-y people in Chainsaw Man. But on top of that, you've got a man with chainsaw coming out of his fucking face.
That's true.
And that right there is going to earn best character design for me because it's just absurd. Like
it really is, honestly.
It's absurd, and then they make it work, which I think is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
For me, I think I'm going to put my bet and vote on Chainsaw Man for Denji's design alone. Basically.
That's man. I would actually argue that that's one of the 3 safe bets for this one.
Yeah, there's.
I know we didn't talk about Trigun Stampede, not to cut you off, but I'm going to be honest. I started watching the original one, and that one kind of stands out more for character design than Stampede.
I haven't heard much about how Stampede has gone over, but I feel like maybe it's pretty wet blanket. Like, I feel like it kind of didn't do what. Yeah, have you heard differently? Like,
I honestly have not heard people say a whole lot about it.
Well, and that's what I mean. Like, I can't speak to any specifics of what I heard, but I just don't get like a big I haven't heard like, oh great, we've got this amazing redo of Trigun, right? Like it seems like maybe it just didn't live up to the original and kind of fell flat. I don't know that to be true. But I just, yeah. And so what you're saying is from like, just from afar, seeing like bits and pieces of both, you see more character design, outstanding character design in the original. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just thinking.
Oh, same.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. And, you know, I mean, maybe it's an easy way to get a victory. Just slap a couple chainsaws on a dude. But like, there's a battle with a guy whose face is a chainsaw versus a guy whose face is a sword. Like,
it's so stupid, but it's so sick.
It's so stupid, but so sick. I think that's where I'm going.
You know what? That's gonna get my favorite.
You got it.
Another wrench. My bet will be Oshinoko.
Nice. Awesome. Now, next one. Oh man, they threw us some different ones. Shoot, we've talked about animation so much. This category is the actual best animation category. We've got a different list than before. Well, lots of the same, but there's a couple in here that are different. So we got Attack on Titan. We've got Chainsaw Man, Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen. So there's our usual. But then we've got Mob Psycho 100, season 3, and then Trigun Stampede, which we both said that we haven't seen much about.
Yeah. And for Mob Psycho, I can only speak for season 2 when he's God, where was he? He was trying to expel some demon from somebody, and it turns into this epic entire city fight. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Totally. And season 3 was no different. It was like,
is it more of that?
Yeah, the show, all 3 seasons are just unbelievable when it comes to the just dripping with style and unreal. The same kind of thing. Lots of crazy cinematography and lots of crazy animation. You know what one could come in and actually get a vote for once here is Demon Slayer. I bet you're waiting to say that.
I actually was, yeah.
You know, because of what you said about how the crispness of this season like really stood out to you, right?
Yeah, it really did.
So I don't want to like sell it short, even though I've kind of been doing that all day. This was a great year for animation.
Oh man,
if nothing else, this was a great year for animation.
God, we were eating well in 2023.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we are again this year, which is lovely. But what are we gonna give it to on this one?
You know what? I'm gonna put my bet for Demon Slayer.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I want to give Demon Slayer some love, but like as soon as you open this up to the whole Shibuya arc, again, we'll have to like maybe fact check and try to figure it out. But just for fun, like leaving it makes sense to me that it would be, you know. Well, Shibuya arc came out this year though. I have no idea. But it was so crazy. It was so crazy.
This is rough.
But I need to rewatch Demon Slayer. Attack on Titan was cool too. But like,
I feel like part 2 was more animation heavy.
Agreed. Chainsaw Man was sick too. Like we've been raving about that. Like it was.
I do feel bad that we can't say anything on Trigun.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And here I am. Like I just for a split second forgot about Mob Psycho as well. Gosh.
Oh man.
Gosh. Okay. So you said your bet was Demon Slayer.
Yeah, Demon Slayer's getting my bet.
Okay, I'm copying you. I'm copying you on that. Let's get some Demon Slayer.
It's so funny how we've done a complete 180 from last year.
It is. It is. Man, no, but Jujutsu Kaisen.
I know.
Okay, it can get my bet. It can come out and get my bet that it's just overall animation was just so smooth. But then for my favorite, help me guys, how do I choose between Jujutsu Kaisen and Mob Psycho? Mob Psycho was so cool. So was Chainsaw Man.
You know what? You know what might help you? Take into accountability the rewatch factor, like what you would notice again. However, to be fair, on Jujutsu Kaisen, you notice a lot on that first watch.
Yeah, you do. And like it was the first thing that came to my mind when you said rewatch as well. Like I'm so excited to
I am
dig
too.
into it again, you know? But that's true of almost all of these. Like I'm really excited to see the animation in Chainsaw Man again. It wasn't as smooth though. Like I feel like I'm comfortable saying that even though there's that Aki scene and there's some crazy fighting and everything I said about the gravity and the way it looked, that was awesome, but it maybe wasn't as good as some of these other ones. Like all three of Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Mob Psycho were nuts.
See, I would still put it at second, even having seen Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, and Attack on Titan.
Yeah, gosh. This one's going to be a crazy one to see. I'm putting a star next to it on my notes.
Yeah. In fairness, I have actually rewatched Chainsaw Man a fair amount.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Oh, man. Oh, man, guys.
You know what? I'm stealing from you and going safe bet on Jujutsu Kaisen.
But is that for your favorite?
Yeah, that's my safe favorite.
Because, like, you've bet Demon Slayer. What is your actual favorite?
That's JJK all the way.
JJK all the way. I don't even know how to evaluate it because I love the style of Demon Slayer as well.
Just overall.
It's like I love it. But from like an overall, I'm treating this as like not only the cinematography and the art direction that we were talking about before, where it was like, how was the vibe? How was the shot list? Like, how did they storytell with camera angles and lighting? Just taking this category, best animation, as pure eye candy, you know, like pure eye candy. Last year, it was Demon Slayer all day for me. Like that was like just the most eye candy. This year, Jujutsu Kaisen was just like, maybe it's recency bias because it's the most recent I've seen.
Yeah, that could also be it.
But it left a mark. I was talking every week about every fight, right? About the flow and the animation of every fight too. Like it was just crazy. So, okay, safe bet. We're in. We locked it in. We copied each other again.
Let's go.
Okay. Best original anime. Take it away.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Best original anime. Akiba Maid War. Birdie Wing. Season 2. Buddy Daddies. Do It Yourself. Mobile Suit Gundam. The Witch from Mercury and The Marginal Service. That's the one that has like a 3.2.
Oh. Just not very standout.
I guess people didn't really like it.
Huh.
Birdie Wings, that's one of the rare callbacks to last year.
Oh yeah, that's the golf ladies one.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
I like how we have clearly not watched it.
No,
we just say it's that.
Probably way more substance than what I just said. But
I'm sure there is.
I don't want to be silly and bow out, but I totally have to bow out of this one. Like, I have no idea. Out of all of this, I've seen 2 episodes of Buddy Daddies, maybe. I just don't know which of these made the big enough splash.
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I think the one that made the biggest splash is Witch from Mercury.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Like, I've seen way more people talk about Witch from Mercury, and I've seen a fair few snippets from it.
Nice. That's awesome. That is awesome. I bet, like, just the concept of do-it-yourself sounds awesome.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think your votes are on this one? This is a tough one. having not
You
seen
know
anything.
what? I'm going to put my bet on Buddy Daddies, believe it or not.
All right.
But my favorite is definitely going to Witch from Mercury.
That is awesome. I wish I could vote on this one. Especially like I'm a little bummed because like I've only seen a lot of the mainstream stuff this year. This list is the best original. Like what's new? What do we have that's an original anime? And I wish I'd seen these, but I'm just totally out of the loop on them. So we'll have to see.
In fairness, we've seen more than we haven't seen from this year.
Very true. Very true. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that the big guns kind of got nominated for everything. A little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
We'll have to see. Best original anime. We'll have to see when it gets announced.
Oh, I forgot to read the synopses for 2 of them, actually.
Oh, I mean, feel free.
Akiba Maid War. Life at a maid cafe isn't as easy as serving tea. Newcomer Nagomi must do her best to elevate the pig hut over the other maid cafes vying for top ranking. But she soon discovers not everything is as it seems amid the maid cafes of Akihabara.
All right.
And then the marginal service, after being fired from his detective job, Brian receives a strange letter. He heads to the address written on the envelope and finds himself among the marginal service. This motley crew of fearless men, women, and a squirrel are tasked with hunting down aliens. Anyway, on to best film.
Yeah, now you guys have that. You're armed with that. Best film. What do we got? We've got Black Clover, Sword of the Wizard King. Blue Giant. Don't know what that is. Kaguya-sama, Love is War, The First Kiss That Never Ends. Look, this is the one, Tristan, that I wanted to circle back to. We were about to talk about it off air, and then I'm just like, no, I gotta save it. I didn't know this was a thing, and I'm so disappointed.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't either.
I love Kaguya-sama. Last year, you guys heard me rave about Kaguya-sama a whole bunch, and I didn't know that there was a movie. Like, I'm so excited to watch it at some point, and I'm so disappointed that I haven't seen it. So we've got that. We've got a Psycho-Pass movie. I've not watched much Psycho-Pass. Did you watch this one?
I haven't seen this movie, but Psycho-Pass is so good.
I've only seen a touch of it, and it seems like a sweet one, a sweet sci-fi one.
That's incredible.
Suzume, which I did watch, and then the first Slam Dunk, which is another one like Kaguya-sama. Totally wish I'd seen this. I'm just a big Takahiko Inoue fan, but I've not seen an ounce of Slam Dunk, and I know that I'm missing out because I'm a lover of sports anime now, and Slam Dunk is legend. And so I would love to go back and watch this, but I have only seen 2 films on this list, which are Suzume and Black Clover. What about you?
That's more than me. I can tell you this, Blue Giant is a jazz anime.
Oh, okay.
That's all I know. It's about jazz, and that's it.
Very cool.
I do like jazz.
Yeah.
I do like jazz movies.
Yeah, music animes are always pretty cool.
Yeah, they really are.
Right? So I don't get around to watching many of them, but the ones that I've seen are pretty good time. I know my answers for this one, though. It's double up on Suzume. So Black Clover.
Oh, really?
I'll dip into Black Clover for a second. Very cool movie. Stoked they did that. Actually enjoyed it. Will 100% rewatch. Can't wait for more Black Clover. Animation was sick. Story was cool. It was great. It was good. But Suzume, like I was saying before with the song, like I think that it was... I loved it as an anime movie. Like I thought it was just a really, really good time. And then overall, I think it was just a glorious anime film. And so I wouldn't be surprised if it totally cleaned up this category.
Honestly, that's probably the safest bet to do. Funnily enough, I'm going to do something a little different.
Do it.
I will give my favorite to Kaguya-sama, just because I do enjoy Kaguya-sama a lot. But my bet is Suzume.
Good call. That's a nice way to do it. You're just like, I love this. It gets my vote.
It's true.
Tempting for me to do the same with Black Clover, but I really enjoyed I got to see Suzume in theaters, I believe. Yeah, definitely. And it was a good time. I want to rewatch it.
All right, we're nearing the end, sir.
Close.
Last two. This was a long one.
Best new series.
For best new series, we have Oshinoko, Bocchi the Rock, Chainsaw Man, Heavenly Delusion, Hell's Paradise, and Zom 100.
Big list.
My eyes are only going to Oshinoko and Bochi.
Wow, nice. That's so cool. So which is your favorite and which is your bet?
Well, favorite is obviously going to be Bochi because I have a tad more experience on that one. But
Oh yeah, I
obviously
could have
the bet's
guessed.
going to go to
What am I thinking? Yeah. What am I thinking?
I do feel bad for not going for Chainsaw Man. As much as I love Chainsaw Man and as big of a splash as it made, take a drink. I don't know, man. It's just Oshinoko.
Yeah, that's sweet. I wish I could be as interesting because I doubled up on Chainsaw Man as I was writing Best New Series. I think it just made too big of a splash. I think it was just definitely belongs on this list. Belongs at the top of this list. I think Zom 100, like it got like a live action as well. Like I think that it
that's true.
definitely belongs on this list too. All of them do. Like we've gone through this list over and over again.
Yeah.
But I could have put something in Zom 100, but I think for me, it's for Best New Series. Had I seen more of Zom 100, maybe it would have a better chance, but I think out of all of these, Chainsaw Man gets both. Sadly, it is the safe bet, but it's also my favorite.
Understandable, though.
Okay, Best Continuing Series.
Best Continuing Series. Attack on Titan. Demon Slayer. Jujutsu Kaisen. One Piece, Spy X Family, and Vinland Saga.
What a stupid list.
God.
Oh, man. What are we supposed to do here? Okay. I mean, you want to take it away?
Hilariously, I already have my favorite voted.
That's amazing. What's your favorite?
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah.
But my bet is going towards One Piece just because, honestly, despite the issues I had with this arc of One Piece that I finally finished, it still holds a very nice place in my heart.
Of course. Yeah, it's even being way back where I'm at, it is very special. Very special. My goodness, this is tough. Great choices on your part. You know what I'm struggling with? Okay, I think my bet is a tie. Oh my gosh, it's a three-way tie. How for the bet, how are we supposed to choose between okay, maybe I can take Attack on Titan off the field, but like Attack on Titan as a continuing series is a big deal, right? Like it's always a big deal. And then Jujutsu Kaisen was an unbelievable follow-up to the season 1. Like season 1 was phenomenal. But I think there were a lot of people who were like, we'll wait and see. We'll see how good it can be. And then season 2 was the exact right cross that needed to follow up that jab. And so as a continuing series, season 2 is a big deal. And then One Piece.
Yeah, absolutely is.
Right. And then
it's One Piece.
It's One Piece. It's One Piece. You said it. Like, that's it. Like, it's just, I don't know. I don't know how to choose. And then I'm stuck with favorite. I'm actually stuck with two completely different ones. Demon Slayer and Vinland Saga.
Ooh, oh.
I loved season 2 of Vinland Saga so much. Like, so much. And Demon Slayer is one of my favorite anime of all time. My second favorite anime of all time, period. So as a continuation, gosh darn do I ever love it. So this is a tough one, guys.
And you know what? Demon Slayer did have probably one of the biggest setups for its next arc I've ever seen an anime do.
Totally. You know what else it did that I loved and that more things are doing and that I think it's doing again actually was just announced? The releasing 2 episodes in the theater thing.
Oh, yeah.
That was awesome. Like that was such a good time. Such a smart idea.
That is a brilliant idea, actually. I love that.
It just got like our juices flowing. Like we went to the theater and it was just like we were just speculating because we haven't read the manga, so we were just speculating on this and that, and it was just really engaging. And then it got you so hyped for the anime to come back to TV, and then it did, and you're just really in it.
Yeah. If you're struggling now, you're gonna be headbutting a wall later.
am. I already see it coming. I already see it coming. Okay. I'm going to give my bet to Jujutsu Kaisen for the reason I just said. It is the perfect cross to the setup jab of the first season, where it's just like, how can the continuation be incredible? It's almost like the opposite. Demon Slayer doesn't get my bet for the reasons that you've said, where it's just like, unreal arc, like so good, but like not the greatest continuation. It's a setup for the greatest continuation, right? Like it's going to be a crazy setup for whatever comes next. But Jujutsu Kaisen was the opposite. It was like actually taking something that was amazing, but could be built upon and then building upon it. Like it was such a heavy hit. So Jujutsu Kaisen for my bet. I'm just pretending One Piece isn't there. I'm just like I'm hiding it from my vision. I'm squinting a little bit and I'm pretending One Piece isn't there. And then for my favorite,
can't ignore the king's presence, man.
I'm just ignoring it. I'm ignoring the king's presence. For my favorite, no matter what I do, I'm betraying someone here.
That's true, actually.
And you know what? For my favorite best continuing. For my favorite best continuing, I'm going Vinland Saga.
Really?
Yeah, that was hard.
Oh, you're gonna be drinking tonight.
I'm just to be a weirdo. That hurt. Did you feel all the pain? Like that was just.
Yeah, actually.
Like the gears of my brain, like the fatigue of talking for 2.5 hours mixed with just the gears grinding in my brain, trying to make this life decision like it's my last.
Sounded like you pulled a splinter out of the palm of your hand on that one.
I'm hurting. Like I'm hurting, but well, okay.
You're hurting. Yeah,
I'm hurting enough that I have to go back. I have to change it to Jujutsu Kaisen. I can't give it to Vinland as the best continuation if it. Oh my god. I don't know. I'm giving it to Vinland Saga. I'm so back and forth. You can edit that out. I'm just like torn, dude. I'm torn.
Oh man, you say that, but we're finally on to the big one, sir.
Yeah. Get ready for some hemming and hawing, boys and girls.
You have the honors for this one.
Really? Oh, man.
Yep.
Thanks. Okay. I'll try not to rave and ramble. I think I'm just going to read them and then I'm going to pass it over to you. Okay. The final category, the big one, Anime of the Year. We have nominees: Bocchi the Rock, Chainsaw Man, Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, Oshinoko, and Vinland Saga.
I put literally everything on Jujutsu Kaisen.
Me too.
Well, okay, we're done.
Yeah. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
No, you know what? I think I struggled with the last one so much because of the idea of the continuation. I'm going with the off answer of Vinland because like people hated it as a continuation, and I'm just going to be contrarian and like really double down on it, where I'm just like, you know what? It was unique. It was a weird continuation and it went to some crazy places and it had some unbelievable philosophy behind it. For Anime of the Year, it's actually like kind of easy if we're including Shibuya arc. like unbelievable heavy hitters, and like almost Chainsaw Man should have taken this, or Demon Slayer should have taken it like it do. But like Jujutsu Kaisen, holy crap. Shibuya arc, holy crap. Right?
Honestly, this is going to be very shocking to hear from me probably. I think there are two tied for the second place, and that's Oshinoko and Bocchi.
I mean, you've been saying that a lot all day, man. Like, that's really badass. And I need to see them.
Somebody in our personal lives is gonna be like, man, you guys, you really like this Jujutsu Kaisen, don't you? It's like, we're not the only ones, trust me.
Yeah, so true. It just earned it though, man. Like that season kept coming.
It did. It really did.
Like maybe I'll save it. I'll save it for our gushing episode, but like my short version is that I thought it had, maybe this is controversial, but I thought it had a weak start. Like the setup for it, I think it didn't blow my mind as much as maybe it did for some people, or as much as maybe I thought it should have. It was once we got out of the backstory stuff and into the meat and potatoes of the arc, the actual Shibuya parts of the arc, that like shit just got crazy, as everyone knows. Like, if you know, you know. And it absolutely earned my bet on it'll, great continuation and totally like anime of the year material.
Yeah. Like, there's nothing more to say about it, but we're going to when we do that episode.
Yeah, we'll get more into the specifics in that episode. This makes me even more excited for it. Like, I almost want to do some like rewatch after voting. Gosh, how many times did we vote for Jujutsu Kaisen?
Oh man,
that'll be a fun stat.
Also, please be sure, sir, to download this. It gives you the option.
Oh, so this is your ballot.
This is my ballot.
Man, that's so cool. Okay, so for you guys watching, hopefully by the time this is edited, well, no, I can't even say that, Tristan. Like,
oh, I'm going to be working tomorrow. Don't worry.
Like, I don't think there will be any time left to vote. Maybe there will be 24 hours left to vote. But if you guys do have some time, hopefully you've already done this, but you get to cast your votes and then you get to download like a poster of all of the splash arts of all of your choices. That's the coolest thing ever.
There's a lot of Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, that's so funny. That's awesome.
Oh my god, there's just as much Chainsaw Man as there is Jujutsu Kaisen. What is wrong with me?
Nothing. Like, okay, so maybe we'll like end on a note like that, because I just to talk more on anime of the year. Like, Chainsaw Man was coming out of the gates hard this year, where like
it was actually,
right? Like, it was. I remember people raving about it. There was a lot of hype for it. And then when it came out, I remember the first episode, maybe two, it, for me, stumbled over itself a little bit, but then it got...
Really?
Yeah, like, the animation wasn't, like, all that in the first episode, at least, I think. And then it, like, found its footing and was just, like, really cool for the rest of the season. So, like, I'm not surprised that you've got Chainsaw Man, like, kind of tied up there with Jujutsu Kaisen, for there's so many different categories that both perform so well in.
Yeah, it's true though.
And just to be clear, this is your personal votes.
Yep.
Cool. That's awesome. I'm going to do the same right after this, because I was busy writing down instead of clicking. I was busy writing all of this stuff instead of clicking my votes in. So I'm going to go enter it right now, and I want to see my poster. It's going to be very purple.
Yeah, it probably will be. And to be fair, these are all my favorites, not my bets.
That's right. Oh, and okay, you're right. I had a couple that differed, where my bet was Jujutsu Kaisen, and we'll see. In any case, this was this is a marathon. Thank you guys for sticking with through the marathon of that. There's no fast way to do that when we want to gush through everything.
This is one of those rare moments where everybody who's like, wow, this episode's long. You know what? We had the most fun we've ever had doing this.
It's just such a good time to wrestle in your own mind and out loud, just like, what do you choose for some of these, right? Like, so good. So thank you guys for being here. I hope you guys have time to put votes in, or already did put some votes in. And we don't know when the award show actually is going to air yet, but you should tune in. Our plan is obviously to watch it together and then do some kind of super fun follow-up, right? All right. Any parting thoughts?
I need to go outside and stretch.
Yeah, my ass hurts, guys. Hopefully you guys have listened to this over a matter of time and you've actually gotten to, do other things and move your bodies.
I hope you were working out to this.
Yeah.
Maybe weebs, but we like to stand up and stretch sometimes.
Definitely. Thanks for being here, guys. That was super fun. Happy Anime Awards season, and see you in the follow-up.